Alrighty. Connection seems significantly more stable than last time. Allow me a brief moment to ping the Discord. Link to join my Discord in the description, as it always is. At stream pings, Control V, whop. Alright. And into the game, pull up my chat reading device, and we're good. We're golden. Alright, hello my rats and rodents. I'm Serotonin, also known as Corky, and welcome back to Danganronpa LAPSE. It's a fan game, a Danganronpa fan game. I did stream the first little bit just yesterday, in fact. However, I had a lot of network issues, and the stream... So while I was streaming for around an hour and 50 minutes, due to the amount of network issues I was having, it ended up only having the first hour and 10. So I did play 40 minutes that are not viewable. However, luckily, nothing too significant happened, I don't think. So we really aren't gonna be missing out on much. I mean, it's close to the beginning, so if you really care that much, go ahead and play the game yourself. It's free on itch, you know, non-profit. All the good stuff. But, yeah, we are going to wait a brief moment before getting in. I did start the stream significantly earlier than I did yesterday. That's because I don't have anything better to do right now. Well, that's a lie. I do have better things I could be doing right now. But, I felt like it. What can I say? I just felt like doing this earlier than I did last time. Is that such a crime? But yeah, without much further ado, it is about time. I do actually have a drink with me here. Instead of needing to leave midway through the stream like last time, I do just have a drink on me. I don't know if that's audible on the microphone. I'm hoping it is, but alright. Without much further ado, let's get back into the game. I made my way through the foyer, past an intensely focused Lyle and Missy, and up the stairs to the second floor. At the top of the stairs, I saw the digital kiosk light up, displaying a message on screen. Hey, Compapiano. Hi! Smiley face. Climbing center. Well, it's certainly working. I paid no further attention to the message and continued on. Where could she be? I toured down the hall past the jazz club, climbing center, and spa. However, my search came up short. Upon entering the atrium, I saw her sitting by her lonesome in the center. Canon? But before I could confront her again, a ringing sound played and an announcement followed. It is now 9 a.m. of the second day. Please make your way to the second floor atrium for a special announcement. Ugh, what now? The few students that were already on the second floor made their way over quickly. Ashley, Art, and Cyrus. Hey, did you all see my message? Yes, hello, right back to you. Cool, it works! Well, at least we discovered something from Art's lurking about. The rest of the students from downstairs arrived shortly after. Lyle, Missy, Forte, Sai, and Pandora. Now, what could this be? Maybe some third floor opened up. That might prove helpful. I haven't found much on my end. Whatever it is, can't they just use the message system thing instead of making us walk all the way up here? With all the students gathered in the atrium once again, the bronze globe projected an emblem. But This emblem was different, and the voice that announced the following was different. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you've been enjoying your special vacation away from it all. This voice was more high energy, like some sort of radio host or sports announcer. Oh, okay.
This is an extra special announcement for the students with us today. You've been cordially invited to play a heart-pounding, soul-searching, excitement-inducing game.
A game?
That's right, a game! And not just any game. This is the beyond universal, glamorously popular game that many students like yourselves get the privilege to play. Why, yes, it's the Mutual Killing Game.
Mutual killing game?
Ah, the Mutual Killing Game! A game of hope and despair! A game of allies and betrayal! A game of cause and consequence! It's all so thrilling! Yes, indeed, you are all gathered here today by your own volition to participate in the festivities! To sign up for the Preservation Project is to sign yourselves to the exclusive game of life and death itself!
Upon hearing that detail, I saw the other students' faces go pale with shock. We were all thought to be gathered in a place of safety. That idea was apparently a farce. What the hell is happening? My cry was futile. The announcement was completely automated, and the horrible things it was saying didn't stop.
This delightful game will take place over 7 days in the very halls you explored just a day ago. If you'd like to leave earlier, then follow this one very simple rule. Kill a fellow student without getting caught. Trying to leave by any other means will result in consequences, as some of you may have learned firsthand from a little jolt of discovery. Although I can't see why you would want to leave anyway. Inside you have all sorts of lovely accommodating amenities. Live a luxurious life within these wonderful walls. That is, if you can survive. If you kill without getting caught, the ultimate prize, an amazing prize befitting an ultimate student, awaits the victor. I know, it's a lot of information to take in at once. We will allow you to absorb this information for the remainder of the day, so relax in the spa lounge, go climbing. But tomorrow, the real fun will begin! Wah-ha-ha-ha-ha!
Okay, so I think the mastermind is Keiji Shinogi. All the real ones will get that. The announcement ended on one final disgusting note before cutting out. The class was in absolute shock. No way. It can't be.
Wait, what is this?
A sick, twisted joke is what it is. Everyone was murmuring amongst themselves. There isn't anyone who would take that dreadful announcement seriously, is there? Pandora voiced the question at the back of everyone's mind.
How could one? It's merely an awful jest.
There's no way any of us could commit such an act against friends. Who said we were friends? Who knows? Maybe one of you is the puppet master running this shtick. This is turning out to be more interesting than that diffused and electrocuting door puzzle. This ARG is fun. Lyle, what on earth are you talking about? You think this is a game? What else could I be talking about? I'm the ultimate puzzle master. Being a participant here is simply a test of my skill. I'll figure this puzzle out yet, don't worry. The rest of us were paralyzed in the atrium. The immense gravity of the situation was oppressive. No one said a word. Eyes were anxiously darting around the room to see who took the announcement seriously and who didn't. To think just this morning we were having a communal breakfast. The atmosphere was unbearably heavy. I stood there, in a cold sweat. I was dumbfounded. It was a killing game, specifically targeting ultimate students. I think I played a video game like this once. It was selfish to think of this during a moment when all our lives were potentially in danger, but I really didn't belong here. Yippee! Wogue. Again, the production value on this is insane. Mithridate. Or could it be Mithridate? Oh shit, holy hell? Okay. Pop off? Okay. Oh. Oh, I love this. Oh, that is absolutely amazing. You may now view the student roster from the main menu. Alright, let's get into this shit. Undeterred by the horrifying announcement, Lyle left the atrium in an almost giddy manner. A smirk painted his face in stark contrast to our own astonished expressions. So, we're stuck in this weird luxury mansion for 7 days, huh? What's 7 days anyway? It shouldn't be too hard not to kill anyone during that time, right? We made it this far. Art chuckled nervously, but the fact that such an inexplicable requirement like that existed in the first place was difficult to come to terms with. One very simple... Hold on, I just got an email. Fuck you! Fuck you, colleges! I don't give a shit! Yippee, rat. Hello, Frost Moon Angel. Welcome to the stream. We actually have a proper connection this time. I don't know when you came in, but you may have just missed absolute peak. One very simple rule. Kill a fellow student without getting caught. What kind of awful rule was that?
Please, don't joke about the matter.
Don't lose your head so hastily. I noticed the announcement rules didn't outright state that we necessarily needed to kill anyone to begin with. Perhaps Lyle is onto something regarding the ARG angle. Besides, the risk isn't nearly pressing enough to encourage such drastic action. Despite the loophole Missy mentioned, the pressure of a killing game being presented loomed over us, crushing whatever sense of comfort we initially had. There's no use for us to be glaring at each other in silence. We ought to continue the mansion investigation. Missy shook off the terrible feeling and went on her way to search once more. Excuse me? Investigate? How could she ask such a thing after something so scary just happened? Being able to stay composed at a time like this. Missy isn't easily shaken, Which is nothing to say about Lyle, who is excited. With nothing left to do, we departed from the atrium. But the voice continued to haunt me as I left the room behind. Wahahaha. That goddamn detective. That goddamn ex-detective Keiji Shinogi, that blonde-haired motherfucker. That awful cackle rang in my ears, filling me with dread. Upon leaving the atrium, the others dissolved into their own disoriented thoughts. With the foyer door barring any chance of exit, all we could do was wait. All we could do was wait for tomorrow, wherein tomorrow the real fun will begin. This so-called game with an odd emphasis on ultimate students. What horrible thing could possibly be in store for us? I felt like I was being suffocated by the decorated walls and furniture, the decorated students and their achievements. What had I gotten myself into? I followed close to Ashley as we drifted away from the atrium, dragging my feet through the hallways. Echo, are you okay? I don't know. Some announcement, huh? Yeah, I'm still reeling from being surrounded by students with super talents. Right. But honestly, I'm just really worried about you. I just got a Discord ping, give me a minute. It's from the sibling group chat, I don't care. Me? Yeah, that whole killing game seems to center around the ultimate title stuff, so I hope you're not dragged into it. Echo, you don't need to worry about me. I'm a lot tougher than you think. I've fallen off my horse more times than I can count, but I just get up and get back in the saddle. I am muting the group chat. I can't help it. It might be a fluke or some kind of cruel joke, but what if it's not? Sorry, I know there's no use making myself sick with worry. Don't fret about that. It makes sense. This strange situation would make anyone nervous, but... Look, I'm not going anywhere. If anything happens to me, I'm not going down without a fight. And you're my best friend. I don't think being friends with a little worrier is any trouble at all. Ashley tried to reassure me multiple times that she wasn't going to get wrapped up in this absurd killing game, but despite her stubbornness, my heart sank further and further into darkness. Did I say sang or sank? I'm pretty sure I said sang. It says sank. I apologize for that. Alright. Knowing such a game was thrusted upon us in the first place was too awful to bear. I didn't want Ashley to reassure me that she wasn't going to die. I wanted to hear that the killing game wasn't real at all. Ash, would you mind if I had some time alone? I'm still feeling overwhelmed. Oh, of course. I understand. I just got a notification from Indeed. Hold on. Boo. Whatever. In that case, I'll take some time to explore the mansion a little more. I'll always be around if you need anything. Take care, Echo. Ashley departed for the study, and I went back to my personal room. It was all too much. I threw myself on the bed and let my body slowly sink into the comforter. As I sank into my thoughts, I went over the events of this supposed vacation in my head. I woke up in an unknown room with nothing in my possession, and in a panic threw the door open to find my best friend, Ashley Westbridge, the ultimate jockey. She's the ultimate jockey. I supposedly won 84% of her races, whatever that meant. No, she got top 3 in 84% of her races. She won 32. Regardless, she neglected to tell me of such a thing during our friendship. Ashley and I teamed up to explore what we discovered to be a mansion. After meeting a handful of students, we discovered 9 out of 10 of them had something called an ultimate talent. There is someone who doesn't have one. Who doesn't have an ultimate talent? Well, that would be me, Echo Pine. Unless, you know, taking 5 dicks at once is an ultimate talent, then I've got your back. That's right. Within our group, I discovered I was the only one without some sort of ultimate talent. I wanted to speculate that perhaps I had no memory of such a thing, but in all honesty, I wasn't even able to list any interesting memories pertaining to an ultimate talent. I was in a state of disarray. After being overwhelmed by the immense talent everyone encompassed, I felt an urge to escape. I ran to the foyer's main doors and was electrocuted. That's right. Upon grabbing the door handle, a shock was sent through me, causing me to pass out. I lost consciousness and woke up sometime later in Forte's room. After the shock, the rest of the students became concerned. Our group split up the next morning and searched the mansion for any signs of a trap. In the middle of the search, we were summoned to the second-floor atrium. There, we heard some horrific news. The horrible news was, we're part of a killing game. This is just like Danganronpa, my favorite video game of all time. That's right. A strange announcement informed us that we were to be trapped here for 7 days, and the means of escape was to kill someone. Not to mention that the real fun would begin tomorrow. It was all so strange, almost unreal. No, I just wished it were unreal. I just wanted to go back home. I wanted to go back to the comfort of complacency and knowing my place. It's not real. It's not real. It's not real. Before I knew it, I had fallen asleep, lost in my thoughts. Chapter 1. Je ne peux sais. I told myself I need to grab Snow because they keep bringing up French terms, and I don't know what these mean. Je ne peux réussir. I'm butchering these. I don't know what the French means. Je ne peux réussir. Je ne peux réussir. I can't. I don't fucking know. I should fucking. I don't know. Maybe I should learn French. That might be fun. I opened my eyes. The clock on my bedside table read 12. Oh, I must have dozed off a little. Why can't this weird situation just be a dream already? I stared blankly around at my personal room. I guess I could take a walk to get my mind off things. And then I took a walk. I made my way to the foyer and sighed again. The grandiose foyer was empty, making me feel smaller against its elaborate decor. I dawdled around for a spell, thinking of what to do, when I heard a small conversation in the dining hall. Have a look at this. It was Pandora and Say. I paused at the doorway. It seemed they were in the middle of something. Beautiful, isn't it? Oh, it's lovely. The engraving is just immaculate. My sister gave it to me ages ago. I was wondering if you'd like it. Why me? Were you wanting something in return? Nothing of the sort. I was thinking as a watchmaker, you must have a rich eye for detail. I believe you could give this piece the care it needs. I don't know. If it's a gift from your sister, wouldn't you want to keep it? I'm afraid I can't quite put it to good enough use. I cherish it, but if someone else can appreciate it more than I, who am I to keep it away from her? Oh, I'll try to take care of it. Thank you. Even after a pressing situation made itself known, it seemed like Pandora still wanted to get along with everyone. Even the most timid person, some way or another. Okay, Okay, it seems like if I didn't know this, if I, like, I can lower my individual volume without, it having an effect on the OBS, so, the music was getting a little loud for me, so, that's good to know. I left them alone. I stepped back into the center of the foyer. I wonder how everyone else is doing. Oh, sick, we get to choose? Hi, Forte. Forte's probably in the theater.
Welcome to the stage, Echo. I was just admiring the selection of props backstage. Would you like to try some?
I awkwardly tried on some hats and masks with Forte.
This killing game. It can't be all reality, can it? Excuse me, just thinking out loud.
That's okay. I was wondering the same thing.
I mean, the Preservation Project. Oh, what am I saying? They can't be related. Surely the group has been infiltrated and is pulling a horrible prank. Though I can't say I enjoy the perpetrator's flavor of humor.
What is the Preservation Project anyway?
It's a group that provides safe housing for ultimate students, protecting them from extreme natural disasters. It had a reputation for taking in small groups of students at a time, since the news of it was passed along solely by word of mouth. Once enough students signed up, a number of them were let in. In our case, it seems the message got to the 10 of us.
Excuse me? Another yawn? That's just what happens when you talk a lot? Word of mouth?
Yes. A lot of Ultimate students often flock together in small communities within their area, since they're often outcast by the average people. I personally heard it when they acquired an Ultimate radio host to help spread the message to my community. I can recall with clarity his voice was boisterous and engaging, not unlike that strange announcer. Despite that, it was a modest arrangement overall. There seemed to be a constrained effort not to spread the word far and wide. Which is strange, considering the varying range of students and talents around the world. Wouldn't you think the group would extend this offer to more Ultimates?
I guess it does feel a little deliberate.
Listen to me jawing away. Don't mind my pedantic thoughts. Just trying to make sense of this is all.
Forte quieted down as he continued to inspect the costumes backstage. Ultimate communities. I thanked Forte for spending time with me and left the theater. There has gotta be an ultimate fursuit creator, ultimate fursuit crafter, whatever you want to call it. There's gotta be. There's gotta be. I wonder what Lyle is up to. So far, Lyle and Forte are my favorites. I wandered the first and second hallways in search of Lyle, but failed to find him. I guess he's off solving the killing game puzzle. Better let him get to it. I guess I can't. Alright, I guess I will speak with Cyrus. I'll look for Cyrus. Hello, Echo. Have you come to relax for a bit in the spa? Feel free to join me. I settled in with Cyrus for a relaxing moment. Cyrus, what do you know about the Preservation Project? Oh, just about as much as any other student who signed up. It's a group that protects ultimate students from extreme natural disaster. To preserve humanity's future, it's presumed that that's their goal, as the name implies. Huh. That's as much as I know, too. It would be unfortunate to lose people who would benefit the world, right? That makes sense. What do you think of all this? I sighed. This scenario we found ourselves is... It feels like the very opposite of saving ultimate students. It's terrible. Building excitement in hopes of safety only to crush those feelings in a messed up game? I couldn't wrap my head around the idea. But what I could wrap my head around was Cyrus's... I need to stop. I need to stop. A more than reasonable observation. It's cruel, isn't it? But most of all, I was still confused as to why and how I found myself here. In that case, what do you think of the others? Huh? What about them? Well, our associates all found their way here. For some reason or another, isn't that right? No one would want to join a killing game voluntarily, that much is obvious. But say that the former were true, that they joined to become part of humanity's future. Pandora seems keen on the idea that our talents can induce worldly benefit and change. Do you think such a thing could happen? I suppose so. Why not? Cyrus chuckled faintly. Why not? How optimistic. Oh, yeah, I guess it might be a lot to hope for from the scenario we're in. No, it's good. It's good of you to maintain the spirit that anything is possible. Cyrus flashed a pleasant smile again before reclining back on the spa chair in silence. After a beat, I saw myself out as Cyrus continued to enjoy his time in the spa. Alright. I guess we're gonna talk to Ashley then. I wonder how Ash is doing. It is fucking crazy that this was made in Renpai. Hey, Echo. I was just reading about this painter named Marcel Osterzone. Apparently people think very highly of their work. Would you like to see? I learned about a Renaissance painter thanks to Ashley. So, how are you feeling? I'm feeling a bit better. I took a walk to clear my head a little. Glad to hear it. The last thing I would want is for you to get all worked up. Ash, I'm curious. How did you hear about the preservation project? I heard about it by word of mouth. I have some Ultimate Talent colleagues that were talking about the preservation project, so I signed up for it along with my friend, the Ultimate Race Car Driver. Wow, jockey and race car driver. That's a pretty high-stakes tag team. Well, you know how it goes. Birds of a feather flock together. But I can't help but wonder whether or not he made it in. I'm sure he did. He's probably just in a different group. Maybe. It's just, last I spoke with him, we got in a huge fight. Ashley didn't seem to want to talk anymore. Sorry if I brought up something painful. No, it's okay. Fights happen when people are close. It's just a fact of life, I suppose. We've had our fair share of spats, but have usually worked through them. Remember when I dropped your mug? I still have that mug. You worked pretty hard to mend it together in that kintsugi fashion, although it's a little too awkward to drink out of. I knew it was your favorite, so I did my best. Thanks, Echo. I appreciate what you're trying to say. Don't worry about my silly fight. I'll get over it. I said goodbye and let her have some time alone. I'll go talk to Missy. I can't sit still knowing there are questions to be answered. Would you like to join me in investigation? I helped Missy search every corner of the foyer, to no avail. That was kind of a heavy sigh. Are you okay? I'm not immune to the pressure of the situation we have found ourselves in, and I must confess something. If you would allow me to think aloud for a moment, I intended to join the preservation project as a part of their operating group once I heard about it. I thought my skills would prove useful. Really? What are you thinking about it now? I'm convinced the group must have been infiltrated. The group is known for bringing in many talents from around the world. For starters, I know the Preservation Project Safe House was a large building with many wings for each group of Ultimate students. The groups are divided by the window of time students signed up. In our case, we all signed up within a relatively close time frame, creating a group of 10. The individual groups are often offered a class project to work on together, utilizing all the unique skills in their pool. These projects apparently have varying results, given the fact that each group may or may not be composed of incompatible talents. Regardless, the end products are usually very unique. Wow, that sounds interesting. Certainly. It would have been an amusing and challenging experience to participate as well, but alas, other Ultimate students, huh. I let Missy continue investigating in peace. Do I have to talk to Art? I don't like him. I wonder if the rich bastard is okay. I don't like golf. I think golf is morally bankrupt.
Echo! I want to see how high I can climb. Safety first, though, of course.
I watched Art struggle with the ropes and harnesses before giving up on the idea of climbing altogether. Okay, that's pretty funny.
So weird.
What's on your mind? It's also boring as heck. I'm saying, like?
This game thing. That announcement said it was a game, but it's not a very fun premise. You know what I'm saying? A huge mansion or whatever just for the 10 of us to play a killing game. It seems, I don't know, expensive.
What do you mean?
This place is huge. I would have thought maybe more people would be involved by the looks of it, like maybe 16. Not that I want a lot of people to play a killing game.
You say a lot of people, but are Ultimate students really so common?
Yes and no. I'm familiar with Ashley's name only because I pay attention to the sport, but I know zilch about photography. I think you just have to be in the right circles. And to put it in perspective, there are billions of people on the planet. It only seems like a lot of Ultimate students in this moment since we're all gathered up.
That's true.
Well, at least you don't have to worry much about all this Ultimate talent stuff. It's tiring sometimes.
Art fell unusually silent for a spell.
Anyway, doesn't look like I can figure out this climbing business. Smell you later. I'm Gary Oak.
Art gave me a quick nod as he zipped out of the climbing center. Let's see if Kanon's in any mood to talk. I looked up and down the halls, but couldn't find Kanon anywhere. I guess she's in her personal room. I made my way over to her listed personal room in the living quarters and knocked lightly. Kanon! There was no response on the other end. Either she was out being difficult to find, or she didn't want to be bothered. I have a theory. I have a hypothesis, if you will. I have a small, slight, insignificant suspicion. I have just a vague sense of an idea as to something that might have occurred. Whatever the case, I moved on. I think that's everyone. I learned a little bit more about this preservation project and how the others found their way to this place. Despite that, I was still left pondering my purpose here. After spending some time with my fellow classmates, I habitually wandered back to my personal room.
Yo, I'm at school right now, so I can't stay long. I remember this project from what feels like years ago. Hope you have fun with this, Arrow. I am having fun with this. Hi, Wolvern. Focus up in school, you fucking youngin', you ungraduated fuck. Imagine not having graduated. Couldn't be me.
But upon entering, I realized I didn't have any personal effects with which to pass the time, so I stepped right back out into the hall to see if anyone wanted to socialize.
The amount of nostalgia I have right now. Yes. I kind of avoided Danganronpa fan games for a long-ass time, so I am really glad that I get to go through a few. How dare you? Oh,
Whatever, literally whatever, who even cares? Christ, I am burning alive in my little corner. I'm gonna open my door, and that might give us some, background noise. By which I mean my air conditioner and fan. There we go. Now I'm not going to burn alive. Yippee! Incidentally, I came across Sei and Kanan on their way in from the foyer in the halls. Hey, Sei, Kanan, I was about to go to the dining hall. Did you want to come? We just left the dining hall. Oh, I see. We stood in silence for half a minute. Well, I, should go. Sei shuffled off, leaving me and Kanan to fill the empty air. She went right back out to the foyer to who knows where. Huh? Okay, I guess I'll go focus on school now, like a boring person. I'll make sure to watch the VOD when I get home. I'm out. Bye, Sarah. Have fun. I will have fun! Pay attention! Sei's personal room is right here. Maybe she wants to spend time in one of the activity rooms? Maybe. The conversation came to a stalemate. I'm just being cautious. Kanan turned and withdrew to her personal room. I let out a deep breath I didn't know I was holding. Kanan tires me out. I made my way to the dining hall, running into Ashley along the way. We greeted each other in a rather unusual manner before sitting down with the other students who had already settled in for a meal. Echo and Ashley. Feel free to join us. We were just starting. How have you been faring since this morning? I'm feeling much better, thank you. Pleased to hear it. Missy sat at the head of the table. Art and Cyrus sat across from each other, with Ashley sitting next to Cyrus. I shuffled in, sitting next to Art and across from Ashley. Man, what kind of class only has 5 students? One that has been disillusioned by a strange game, apparently. Yes, it's a little disheartening to see only half of our group gathered here. Well, it isn't strictly required that we all have dinner together. I saw Sei and Kanan in passing. They must have had their share already and were on their way out. Sei's a pretty shy girl, so I can understand. Perhaps she didn't want to be around a large group of people? And Kanan, she's awfully mysterious. Well, there's no use wondering about them. They can do whatever they please, so we shouldn't question their actions. Even if they're suspicious? And for that matter, doesn't the killing game frighten any of you? I voiced the questions that had been ruling my thoughts. I mean, there's really no one capable of that sort of thing, is there? My question was met with silence. Echo, I understand that you might be afraid right now, but it won't do you any good to worry. You're only going to run yourself ragged, thinking about the frightful possibilities. Yeah, Missy's right. It's just some dumb announcement out of nowhere, so what's the threat? Precisely. We shouldn't make ourselves sick with anxiety from something that hasn't invoked any consequences. Plus, if this were a killing game, why would they give us such nice amenities? Why not just throw us in a creepy locked building? Wouldn't that pressure us further into killing each other, to escape an unknown scary building? I wonder. Regardless, we shouldn't dwell on the specifics of something so mysterious and harmless. Let us just enjoy each other's company and the fixings of this mansion to its fullest. Thank you for the encouraging words, Missy. Missy won't get shook up. She's the definition of keeping it cool. With the atmosphere lightened up, we continued our dinner with lively chatter. I was thankful to have such positive energy surrounding me. After dinner, we all departed to wrap the evening with our own activities. Ashley and I walked over to the living quarters to rest for the evening. But before we went to our respective rooms, Ashley pulled me over to the end of the living quarters hallway. Ash, what's up? Echo, I've been thinking, and I don't know how to say this. This killing game, it has me really worried. An ultimate battle royale? Just saying that is ridiculous. It has to be some kind of themed ARG or weird elaborate prank. I was kidding around, but Ashley remained still with a serious demeanor. Well, you're here, aren't you? How else would you explain your high school plaque on your personal room door? Huh? Sure, it's a little strange, but that could mean anything. I was probably just mistaken for a different student at my school. You know what I think? It means I was right. Echo, being involved with me only results in ultimate levels of trouble. This game that's specially curated for ultimate students managed to gain a collateral student participant simply by association. Me. Ash, what are you saying? I don't want you to worry about me. Yes, I can protect myself, but it's more than that. I remember that night, the night you dropped me off after we had dinner. You couldn't walk me to my house. I did, in fact, make it to the house in one piece, but when I looked back out on the street, I noticed something strange. I saw smoke. It was coming from the direction you dropped me off, so I assumed the worst. I wanted to run out there and see what had happened, but the only thing I remembered after that was a sharp pain, and then... black? Right. I must have been a target or something. Someone must have subdued and captured me. And at the same time, you as well. Whoever did this, it seemed they wanted to cover all their bases, which meant if you saw anything that night, you had to be taken also. I trembled at the thought. The problem was I didn't see a thing happen that night. Echo, I can protect myself, but I want you to keep your distance, so whatever happens to me doesn't come to harm you as well. How could you say that? We're best friends. I can't abandon you at a time like this. I need you to let me alone. It's for your safety. It hurts me to even think about it, but I don't want you to be in danger because of your relation to me as a close friend. I couldn't believe what was happening. Ashley's face was painted with remorse. She only wanted to keep me safe, but in return it meant we needed to be apart. Ashley gave me one last hug before retiring to her room for the night. Ashley... I hung my head in despair. Why did this have to happen? I clenched my fists in frustration. Damn it! I pounded the wall, trying to process everything, when I heard a gentle voice. I'm so sorry for what just happened. I twirled around to find the source of the voice a few paces behind me. It was Pandora. Her voice was barely a whisper. Okay, I'm pretty sure I said this last stream, but oh my fucking god. It's either gonna be Pandora or Ashley. It's either one of those two is gonna be the first victim. I swear it. There are too many death flags. It was Pandora. Her voice was barely a whisper. Pandora, you heard our conversation? I apologize. I didn't mean to eavesdrop. I was only nearby because I wanted to talk to you privately. Me? Yes, I was wondering. Does this message mean anything to you? Pandora pulled a small piece of paper out of her apron pocket. Please not Pandora, I need baked goods. Yeah, I'm really hoping it's not Pandora, but it's either gonna be... Okay, there are two routes I can see this going down. Either A, Route 1, Ashley is going to be murdered, and the protagonist is going to, like, blame it on themselves. Because, like, oh, if they just insisted that Ashley was being stupid and, like, stuck by Ashley's side, then Ashley wouldn't have been murdered. Or, Route B, Pandora's gonna get murdered, and that's just going to leave the protagonist without, like, a sort of partner character. Anyways, yeah, that's my theory so far. Pandora pulled a small piece of paper out of her apron pocket. The note had 2 small symbols on it, along with some text. If you recognize one of the symbols depicted, then you have finally found me and are safe. Please do not speak of this note's existence. Trust no one but yourself. Upon closer inspection, the symbols were similar to the ones the announcements showed. What does this mean?
Do you recognize either of them?
I can't say that I do.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I was confused by the contents of the note, so I was hoping someone could help me. In particular, I was wondering what the note meant by "you are safe."
Based on what's shown on the note itself, the 2 symbols could be of interest. It seems like there could be someone here who might be connected to whoever's controlling the announcements. Basically, there might be a spy.
I thought the same, but I wish the implications weren't so.
Where did you find that?
It was in my apron pocket since I woke. I don't know how it got there. I don't recall putting anything like this in my pockets.
She tucked the note away back in her apron pocket.
However, that wasn't really what I wanted to talk to you about. I wanted to say, I feel like you're a very special person. I can't really explain it, but I feel a strong aura about you.
Thank you?
She smiled and went on. Echo, you might think being an ultimate student is some kind of extravagant existence, but you forget there is beauty in the ordinary as well. Even if we do have ultimate talents, we're still regular people just like you. Waking up with bedheads, sometimes showing up late to our appointments. We're just a little more preoccupied with one particular thing than most others.
Thank you, Pandora. Pandora managed to quell a bit of the worry in my heart.
But it is a pity what happened between you and Ashley.
I don't know what to think anymore. One moment Missy's telling me not to believe a word the announcement says, and another moment Ash is cutting ties with me in a firm belief of the dangers of the game. What am I supposed to do? I felt my throat begin to choke.
Oh, très désolé, Echo. I don't think it's my place to say, but this is but a bump in the road. Ashley will always be your friend, no matter what.
Is it tres désolé? I don't know which of these... I'm... Fucking romance languages. Stop looking the same. Jesus Christ. There's so much that I can, like, solidly say is French, but every now and again, I'm like, tres, I know that's Spanish. Was that Spanish? Was that Spanish I just saw? I don't know. I mean, this entire game has been putting French fucking everywhere, so you would think that it would be French, but there's just something that says, hey, that might fucking be Spanish. I don't know any other languages.
And it may be difficult to determine what's in store for us ahead, so we must keep our faith and live one moment at a time.
The light started to dim as Pandora smiled at me one last time.
Bong, bing, bong. A body has been discovered! It is now 9 p.m. Nighttime will begin at 10 p.m. Facilities will be closed until 7 a.m. the next morning. Even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. Oh dear, it looks like nighttime has come. Well then, bonne nuit, Echo. And please don't tell anyone about this note. I don't want to cause any unnecessary trouble. I feel like this note is the key to the many mysteries of this place.
I nodded. The note was odd, but I couldn't find it in me to outright doubt Pandora. Good night to you too, Pandora.
Wait, the name Pandora might... If, like, killing her is like opening the Pandora's box, like kicking off the killing game... Oh no, the death flags are just getting worse! It's either gonna be Pandora or Ashley. I'm calling it.
We both returned to our personal rooms to pass over the night.
One of those two is gonna die first.
Returning to my room, I made myself comfortable and slipped into bed. I stared blankly at the dim ceiling, letting my mind wander aimlessly through the news I learned today. But nothing really stuck. Words and conversations and thoughts flew by as I let my heavy eyes close. The one thought that pervaded the others was, what would be waiting for us tomorrow? Before I knew it, I had fallen into a deep sleep.
Awoo! Howl! Bark, bark, bark! Woof, woof! Full moon!
I don't think that's a full moon, actually. I think that's a... It looks like a gibbous. I think that's a gibbous. I don't think it's a full moon. I opened my eyes to the now familiar colors of the room. I looked at the clock on my bedside table. 7:28. I turned off the alarm before it rang and steadily got out of bed. Only 2 days had passed, yet I found myself beginning to acclimate to the sleep schedule. I splashed my face with cold water, the icy sting charging my nerves for a sharp awakening. I wonder if anyone is in the dining hall for breakfast yet. I made my way to the dining hall, stopping in the foyer for a moment to gaze at the mysterious electrifying doorway. In the dining hall were a few early risers just starting breakfast. Good morning. Good morning, Echo. Please help yourself. I made some muffins with citrus today, and hopefully it'll energize you. Nothing like a hearty, satisfying breakfast to start the day. Ooh, rolling with the same crew as last night, except I guess Ashley was switched in for Pandora. My heart hurt when Art mentioned Ashley. Pandora must have noticed and sat close to me. Here, I made lemon squares just for you. Ashley told me in passing you liked lemon. The fucking death flags! You can't keep doing this! Pandora, you're gonna die! Pandora, no! She did? So Ashley was still looking out for me. Thanks, Pandora. Can you tell her thank you for me as well? Of course. We continued our leisurely breakfast as we all shook off the night slumber. Woo! Lemon squares! God, I haven't had a lemon square in forever. Also, welcome to the stream, Saldus. We continued our leisurely breakfast as we all shook off the night slumber. No one else came in during the length of our stay in the dining hall, however. It is now 9 a.m. Please assemble in the second floor atrium for a special announcement. I forgot that the speakers were like supposed to be like radio host shock jock voice. Wait, shit. Is that like announcement or is that just for like the special like killing game announcements? I don't fucking know. I'm just gonna do it for both. After the announcement ended, I mechanically started to get up from my seat when Art loudly kicked his feet up on the table. No way! Art leaned back in his chair and pouted. We're not gonna listen to your creepy announcements, you hear? He waggled his finger aimlessly at the ceiling. I wonder what happens if we refuse to assemble. Do we want to test this passive protest? Why not? I'm curious as well. Coincidence, but we made lemon squares today in our baking class? Ooh, that's amazing. Lemon squares are so good, your mom makes them. Ooh. Hey, Frost Moon Angel, is your mom sync? I think I'm funny. I think I'm funny. No. I will continue to reiterate, I'm Arrow Ace. I just like to joke around. They call me the sillier. But don't worry, I'd be a great stepbrat. Anyways. Oh my fucking god. I need to shut the hell up. Why not? I'm curious as well. Hey, isn't this dangerous? I agree, it might be risky. The only risk so far has been from when Echo actively tried to escape. The past 48 hours have been nothing but casual to us. However, after a moment of silence, the painting above the fireplace switched to the announcement emblem. It was the killing game announcer.
So, welcome to day 3.
So it plays regardless. I sat down and allowed the announcement to disrupt our morning. I'd be a great step rat.
Are you all comfortable? Having a nice breakfast? Having fun sleeping in? That's great to hear! Today we'll be reviewing some general rules relative to our lovely killing game. They are as follow. Students will enjoy an idyllic lifestyle within the apothegm walls for a duration of 7 days. Activity amenities are open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Breaking major assets, kitchen refrigerator, theater lights, etc. is strictly prohibited. At the end of 7 days, whoever survives is awarded the ultimate prize. 5. To expedite the process toward the ultimate prize, one must kill a fellow student without getting caught. And to get the ball rolling each morning, a special music will be provided to exercise your mind. Today's forced motive question is: are your talents a true representation of who you are? Who are you beyond your talent? Stew upon these brain-teasing inquiries as you all carry on with your communal lives. And whoever actually went to the atrium gets an additional special gift. Yeah, I know. No one wants to go to the second floor just to hear an announcement. That's what speakers are for, after all. So whoever followed the rules got a little something something, if you know what I mean. That's right, a 12-inch knotted werewolf dildo.
I need to stop.
Finally, if there are no developments by day's end, there will be serious repercussions. You all will suffer the consequences and be executed as a group for failing to participate in the game. Check out your bracelets. They all contain a lethal dose of Complex 53, just enough to knock you into the next life in less than a minute.
Hold on. That voice makes me produce so much fucking saliva. Give me a moment. Huh? I flipped my bracelet over to see a small vial of clear liquid attached to a control chip. Our bracelets had these things the whole time?
But, that's just a last resort. I don't really want to use it unless you all really bore me. So come on, you all, make it happen!
The bizarre announcement cut out and the painting returned to its original form. God, I really hope my microphone wasn't peaking. So, the thing they're giving us to motivate murder is a question? And the threat of a clear liquid that is proclaimed to be a deadly toxic gas. As far as I know, such a chemical by the name Complex 53 doesn't exist.
It might just be water, like a prop or something. And to release it only at the end of the day if nothing happens. I don't know, seems kinda weak.
Mr. Tenna, I think I might have done, like, a similar voice for Tenna. I furrowed my brow. I recalled what Missy said yesterday, that the risk wasn't high enough to do something drastic. A question was hardly raising the bar, not to mention a small vial of liquid. As for the other provided motive, as it were, I don't understand. Are we meant to discuss the question with each other? Perhaps, unless anyone has any skeletons in the closet. I believe it is only fair to share our thoughts on the subject. I sheepishly ducked my head, but Missy caught me. Echo, why don't you lead us in our discussion? You are the most qualified, since you sit in a rather grey area when it comes to ultimate talents. Which isn't to say you're not included, but I think you have the most neutral viewpoint that is appropriate for judgment. Sure, if you say so. If you don't want to, it's not necessary. It's alright, I have to admit I'm pretty curious now. Well, let's see what everyone has to say. Cyrus! So, Cyrus. Yes? What does being called the ultimate charisma entail? Why, it's the mystifying ability to draw people towards me with little to no effort. Or so I've been told. Some might equate the word charisma with charm, and in turn think that charisma has to do with good looks, beautiful voice, overflowing wealth, etc. However, I think charisma actually lies simply in having a kind soul. People are swayed by those with a kind soul, be it they have good intentions to follow through on or bad intentions to take advantage of. I found myself absorbed in Cyrus's statement. God, his green hair, his green eyes, his unmistaken autistic riz, I needed him inside of me. I might even say you're rather charismatic yourself, Echo. Oh, I don't know if I would go that far. Nonsense. I welcome your presence, it's calming. You've got certified riz. I'm never saying that word again. I felt a little embarrassed after being given such kind praise from the one so-called ultimate charisma himself. So with that in mind, how would you describe your personality and talent? I'm not sure. It's always difficult to talk about yourself, though I suppose I do like going with the flow. I guess a word could be cooperative. Art compa piano! Art compa piano! Ah! I just got another Discord ping. Art compa piano! Ah! Damn, you're going wild. This is a serotonin rat stream. What did you expect? This is my sense of humor, okay? I like to make sex jokes. Is being a pro golfer a true representation of who I am? I don't really get it. I mean, I think it is. I haven't really expanded my interests outside what I know, which is golf, so I can't say anything else encompasses who I am. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think so. If you tried something new now, I think it might be disorienting to fail at said activity since you're not ultra skilled in it. Oh yeah, that does make sense. Well, ultimate golfer, no. Yeah, I like playing golf. I think I got so good at the sport because I knew I liked it all this time and stuck around with it. Never really thought of the other stuff. Yeah, there we go. I guess it's a simple sentiment. Thanks, Echo. Missy Vesper. A political tactician, huh? It's not glamorous. I'm often tasked with knowing the burdens and misdeeds of many people in power. I'm like if the Epstein files got released. It's somewhat of a curse to be able to lie my way out of a sticky situation. How do you feel about being called the ultimate tactician, though? I don't mind. It is what it is. So do I, but you're going back to back with these jokes. No cooldown? Well, you know how else I like it back to back. No cooldown. Ayo! Fucking hell. I need to be euthanized. They need to put me down or something. It is the strength I've been blessed with, and I would be misspoken if I said I took an interest in other things. I've always known my personality to be that of someone who informs. And if I can give a purpose-driven voice power to speak up for what's right, then the ensuing battle, be it a difficult one, will produce satisfying results. I believe at the end of it, if intense debate occurs, there's often an intense emotion behind it. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen your fair share of selfishness and greed, though. Circumventing those intentions can be trying, but you just need to take the good with the bad. Missy, self-assured as always. And Pandora. Wait, who am I beyond my talent? Honestly, I wouldn't be anything without baking. Even in another life, I think I would always find my way back to baking. It's just in my soul. I think at the core of it, such an activity represents all that I care for in life. The simplicity in sharing good food with friends. To make something infused with love and to bring that joy to others. It's quite a special feeling, is it not? Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Listen to me, being so sentimental. You really love baking, huh? Oh, it's everything. Everyone said similar things. that their talents run alongside their personalities. You couldn't have one without the other.
What an odd motive. I would imagine talking about this kind of thing among peers would only reinforce relations. If our captors are trying to plant distrust, I'm afraid I don't quite understand the logic.
I thought about the intention of the question, but all I could think was that it might be to weed out spies, which involuntarily led me to suspect the person I would least suspect.
Is something the matter, Echo?
Nothing. I averted my gaze from Pandora. She had some kind of secret note that bore the strange emblems of our mansion announcers. What could it mean? If I may be so bold, I firmly believe from our discussion that our ultimate talents are truly one and the same with our personality and characters.
I'm inclined to agree.
I guess it's cool that we get to know each other a little more, though. It seems like a friendly enough topic. Indeed. Our talents and skills born from a passion within, and you simply cannot remove that aspect of a person without losing a part of them. A peculiar motivator, that one. With our thoughts on the forced motive question cleared, our group was able to finish the morning in peace. The breakfast club wrapped up, and with no other announcements to interrupt us, the afternoon was completely available for individual activities. I didn't have anything in particular planned today, so I idled in the foyer before deciding what to do next. Hey, Echo! That familiar voice erupted from behind me. What's up, Art? This might be weird to ask, but do you mind if I hang out with you today? I'm kinda curious about other students' talent stories, but I didn't want to go running around the mansion alone. Why don't you ask one of the others from breakfast? Huh? Oh, 'cause you're cool. What? I mean, you're easy to talk to. I thought about asking Missy, but Missy's kind of imposing, honestly. You know, I feel like I have to walk all nice like I'm bouncing books on my head or something. I don't think she'd strict on how others walk or anything like that. That aside, she stuck around with you on the first day, didn't she? Oh yeah, you're right. Well, I'm asking you now since I'm here. Besides, I can't find Lyle. I wanted to get another strategy meeting started today and maybe even help him with solving some stuff, but... We found it. Echo is the ultimate Riz Master. Shut the hell up. Shut your goddamn mouth. Shut your fucking cake hole. I don't want to hear anything from you. So I was his second choice. Somehow he seemed disappointed. Sure, I'll tag along. I didn't really have anything planned today anyway. I trailed off, thinking about Ashley. We can probably cut down on one visit right here. Since you and Ashley are best friends, do you know anything about her talent? Honestly, I can't say that I do. This is the first time I even heard about such a thing like ultimate talents. All I knew is that she lived out in the countryside with her father on a ranch, Westbridge Stables. I didn't think all her time around horses amounted to something as intense as being an ultimate jockey. Huh. Maybe she just likes to be modest? I mean, just because she has high win rates doesn't mean she avoids taking care of the horses. Kinda like she works hard and plays hard. Does that make sense? I couldn't really make heads or tails of it. I didn't really want to be thinking about Ashley at the moment anyway. It was too overwhelming. I sighed. Yeah, I suppose that could be it. Alright, that's one down. Let's get going. It seems I got roped into exploring the other students' opinions on the forced motive question with Art. Not that I was opposed to the idea of learning about the others. There were a handful of people we haven't heard from. Psychono! Hell yeah! Let's try to find Psy. I keep flip-flopping between pronouncing it say and sigh. Art and I saw Psy in the kitchen, poking at the digital screens. Oh, I haven't eaten since yesterday. Say? What's the matter? Oh, it's no use. I don't know how to use the screen thing. It doesn't register my taps. Huh? You need to tap your bracelet to the screen first, and then you can choose a meal. What? she raised her right arm. Fuck, I accidentally skipped it too fast. She raised her right arm and scanned her bracelet to the scheme, activating the podium. This is embarrassing. I'm not right-handed, so I didn't think about it. Glad I could help. Say poked at the digital screen, ordering a rice porridge with pickled vegetables. Eat up, Say! Echo, let's get something too so she doesn't have to eat alone. Art, Say, and I shared a small meal together. After we finished, Say quietly sat in the dining hall and fiddled with her rings. She then let out a big, exasperated sigh. It's really no use. What's wrong? I can't get used to anything around here. It may be because I'm kind of forgetful, but I went so long without eating because I couldn't figure out the menu thing. You shouldn't go so long without eating. If you need help with anything, you can always ask one of your friends here. Friends? Was that too forward? No, it's just I don't talk to you all much, so I didn't believe you thought of me as a friend. Aw, don't say that. There's no reason we wouldn't call you a friend, right? She stopped there, but I saw a small smile turn the corner of her lips. So, right down to business. Business? We came by to see you to ask you about the question thing. The question thing? You mean the forced motive question? Yeah, a group of us were talking about it in the dining hall over breakfast, and we were wondering if you had any thoughts about it. I don't know. It seems straightforward. I'm a detail-oriented person, and watches are full of little mechanisms. Although I guess I can get lost in the details and miss the bigger picture. Like just now. But then again, after all the gear design differences under the face of the watch, the outcome is still fixed. A timepiece, right? Yeah, I don't really understand what the question is supposed to be all about. Sorry. No worries, we don't know either, so we were just going around getting everyone's opinion. Oh, I see. Well, good luck figuring it out then. Say clams up and quickly scuttles off before we could say anything else. Oh, bye? Excuse me. Wow, I'm really proud of how long it's been since my last yawn. Good on me, I'm improving. My drink is running low, but I'm not gonna have a break in the middle of the stream just to refill it. So I gotta be very careful with this. Oh, bye? She's kind of antsy, huh? Hi, Forte. Forte is probably where I think he is.
Ah, Art and Echo. What brings you here?
Art here was curious about your opinion on the forced motive question. Yeah, why opera? Isn't it boring? Art, full of tact, I see.
Aha! It's quite the opposite of boring. Performances are very rich and can shake the viewer to their core. Opera is a wonderful art that combines raw vocal emotion with the physical beauty of expressing the self with your very being.
Oh! Wanna hit us with some bars? It's not rap, Art. Forte's operatic voice. To say I was a little curious would be an understatement.
Oh, no. I couldn't perform under these conditions.
What conditions?
Why, the conditions of the heart, of course.
Can we ask why that is?
Well, you see, I haven't been able to properly express myself since tragedy struck my hometown. We lost a friend in our community, and, they were more than a friend to me. Sir Hyde, one of our most loyal friends. One of his favorite pastimes included long walks in the park with the wind gently brushing through his ears. No! It's a dog! I made that joke and it turned out to be a dog! Fuck! I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I did not imply that Forte was a zoophiliac. I promise. I promise.
I didn't know. I was unaware. I was unaware they were talking about a dog. I was just trying to make them gay. Are we cool? Are we on the same page? Great. Wait, is he talking? You lost your dog? Art!
Yes, I'm still rather fragile about it.
I'm sorry. That sucks, man. Subtle foreshadowing? Fuck off! No! No, that's not subtle foreshadowing! No! You do know what you're implying with saying that's foreshadowing, right? Forte's cool. I don't want him to be a wrongin'. I'm sorry. That sucks, man.
Si, davvero.
I hope it's different, experiencing tragedy than performing it.
Precisely. I've been troubled since.
What kind of dog was he? Golden Retriever.
A German Shepherd of 13 years.
I'm sure you gave him a great full life, with lots of music, of course. Forte's lips turned a small grin.
Indeed, dog is man's best friend, are they not? It would have been unseemly of me to treat him not unlike my own family. He had such charm and wit, howling along with my practice. Why, I dare say he prevented me from practicing, times more often than not. Sir Hyde loved to command the attention of all with his gaiety.
I couldn't help but smirk at the idea of his dog on the theater stage. It was a sweet thought. You'd never assume such on someone. Yeah, just remember those good old times with Mr. Hyde.
Indeed I shall. Thank you, Art.
After that small chat, Art and I thanked Forte for his time and paused near the theater exit to collect our thoughts. I bet his dog was really fun to play with. No, I can't. I made the joke before I knew what I was talking about, and now I'm reading everything the wrong way. Fuck my stupid buck alive. Anyway, what did we learn? I don't think we got an answer to the question as much as we did a description of what opera is. I'm gonna be honest, if I was Forte, I'd be annoyed at Art's optimism. I'd be annoyed at Art's everything if I met this man in real life. I think we did. Forte's kind of a dramatic guy, sure, but I think he is very in tune with his emotions. You've dug your own grave? I dug my own fucking grave, bro! I dug my own grave! I made my bed and now I made my dog bed and now I have to lie in it! Just like opera. Satisfied with the answer, Art nodded in understanding. And despite him jumping straight to Forte's worries, Art seems to have helped Forte recall his fondness of his late friend. I wonder... Don't lie in the dog bed. Listen. Life Saro, canonically, anytime they have a bed, it's a dog bed. That's how Life Saro sleeps. That is how anthropomorphic rat sleeps. Art and I looked around for Lyle, but he remained as elusive as ever. What the heck? Where is Lyle? Dunno, I certainly would have run into him by now, excuse me. If we run around some more, we're bound to find him sooner or later. Excuse me, I have the hiccups now, which means I'm forced to take another sip of my limited drink. No joke though, dog beds are comfortable as hell, like I'd sleep in one IRL. I mean, if it was human-sized, I know some people do that. Kanon Ota. Kanon can't avoid us forever! Kanon was in the atrium. photographing some of the greenery in the center of the Grand Hall. Art and I hid away behind some bushes, watching quietly.
Hey, I know you two are there. Be quiet until I'm done.
Hay is also very nice to sleep on. You would say that, you fucking farmer. I say that with immense love. We watched in silence as she snapped various photos of the plants.
Out with it. What do you want?
Echo was curious about your talent in relation to the forced motive question. Way to throw me under the bus. Yeah, I just wanted to hear your thoughts.
There's not much to say. I know who I am. I'm a photographer. A behind-the-scenes kind of person who brings others' visions to life and captures them for eternity.
Was this rehearsed or what?
No. I just know who I am. With a certainty.
Just as Kanan was about to make a dramatic exit on that lingering note, Pandora caught her on the way out. Oh, Kanan, just the person I wanted to see.
And is this about the motive question as well?
Indeed. Rukin figure is an interesting subject. Would you mind if I asked what draws you to it? I can see that, but I also sleep on the floor out of my own will, so hey, listen, floor time is very important for any and all mentally ill persons.
Yes, I do mind. It's niche and I don't want to waste my breath explaining these nuances to people who wouldn't understand.
No activity is so niche that it's acted upon without love, you know.
Whatever, leave me alone.
Did I offend you?
No. Just, why are you all bombarding me with questions? We're not close.
This is how we get close. We make small talk and learn about each other. It's all in good spirit.
Well, I really wish you wouldn't bother.
Kanan ends the conversation for us again and disappears from the atrium. Well, I guess that's that. Sorry you had to walk in on that, Pandora. It's fine. Perhaps it wasn't my place to ask. I shouldn't pry, right? You didn't do anything wrong. Kanan's just kinda snippy. That's putting it kindly.
Thank you, Art, Echo. Excuse me, I just remembered something. I'll see you two around.
Oh, sure thing. We'll see you later. I'm also getting low-key a few vibes that Pandora could be first killer, as well as first victim. After running around all day, Art and I managed to catch Lyle as he was about to enter his room on the other side of the living quarters hall. Yo, Lyle! Hey there, what's the good word? You're awfully casual for being so difficult to find. Yeah, we finally caught you! Huh? You've been running around this whole building solving puzzles. And we've been running around this whole building looking for you. Oh, I'm in hot demand, is that right? Yeah, we wanted to hear your thoughts on the motive question. We thought it might improve relations, getting to know each other better and all. Ah, that. Forced motive question. It's not a very strong motivator, is it? What if I don't want to talk about it? I suppose you don't have to. Yeah, but we're friends! We should share stuff like this! And friends should know when to let up on the pressure. No, please don't let the killer be a fellow baker. Oh, sorry, Lyle. Art looked down dejectedly. I'm sure Art didn't mean to press you so hard. Uh-huh. It's fine. It's just, I've just known puzzles all my life, you know? Puzzle solving is more of a, introverted task, if you will. They're generally seen as activities simply for passing the time. Cubing, crosswords, etc. I don't really like thinking about who I am beyond my talent is all. I'm afraid that I'm too boring without puzzles. You're not boring. You're plenty cool. I mean, look around. You've got all sorts of friends here who think you're amazing for charging right towards solving the electric door. Right, Echo? Amazing was one way to put it. Yeah, Lyle, don't beat yourself up. You have a gift. Thanks, you two. But hey, while we're on the topic, listen to this. I tinkered with the door and I managed to figure something out. Lyle had our attention as he led the way to the foyer. Okay, what are we getting here? Here we are. Give the door a try. What? No way. Does that mean we don't have to stay here anymore? Well, that's the catch. Go ahead. I gave Lyle a nervous look before reaching slowly for the door handle. Bracing myself, I quickly gripped the handle and nothing happened. I was fine. Whoa, Lyle! You did it! I gave the doors a push, but they wouldn't budge. Oh, what now? What the? Is there a barricade or something? I think so. That or it's just hard locked. So I managed to disable the electric door, but the physical barrier is an issue now. I admit, I'm relieved that there's more layers to this task. What do you mean? It would have been so boring if I just had to disarm a door. Unconcerned with the discovery, Lyle was more satisfied with having more puzzles to solve than he was with removing a trap from the dangerous door. Here's something else that's interesting, though. Might be important since it's about this weird killing game twist. After that 9 a.m. morning announcement, I saw Sai sneak downstairs from the direction of the atrium. You think she actually went to listen to that announcement? I can't think of anything else. Even stranger was after she came down, she went to the dining hall for a minute but quickly left. I poked around in there and saw this in the pantry. Whoa, a secret note! So is that the so-called special gift? Yeah, I can only assume. I was confused. How could it have been a special gift from this morning if Pandora shared the note with me in confidentiality last night? I decided to keep quiet about it. I didn't want to confuse things further. I studied a little, and the symbols don't match any symbols of the students that are currently here. I cross-referenced the note symbols with the ones on our personal room doors and got nothing. That is, if the note symbols even belong to students. I remember Missy saying something about other students. Oh? She told me that the preservation project divides ultimate student groups across different wings of the building. Maybe those are students from a different wing. So what would we do if we did know those students? It's not like we've seen them in our part of the building yet. Who knows? Could it be more of a genetic field theory? Oh, shut your zero-escape loving ass up. Lyle muttered something under his breath. Morpho... what? Don't worry about it. It makes me wonder, though. Are we meant to be recognizing other students? For example, I believe I recall Ashley and Echo being friends before this. Am I wrong? No, you're right. I thought it was just me, though. Right? See, for me, I recognize art school emblem. AA Academy, right? Huh? Yeah, how'd you know? I went to Rainmoth Institute. I remember seeing your school symbol when our schools merged. My school used to be called Signal Prep High School before the merger. I thought you were so cool representing a whole school to influence a merger. That's kind of embarrassing. It was such a long time ago, I hardly remember it. Why not? It's amazing that you used your golf skills to make things happen. Our school has never been in better shape thanks to your help. Ah, thanks. But people complain that my games aren't interesting enough since I always get the same result, a hole-in-one. They always say games should be entertaining. They should just play golf themselves, you know? Besides, Lyle, you're the cool one. I mean, you used, like, your deduction or whatever to figure out how to disarm a dangerous door. That's more utility than I could have ever imagined. It's nothing. The door doesn't even open anyway. It's still awesome, though. I feel like you could even figure out what the deal is with the killing game announcement stuff. Oh, yes. That's the end goal. I'm just working my way through all these small pieces they've given me. The two talked energetically as I awkwardly watched. Oh, sorry, Echo. We're just over here talking your ears off, huh? That's alright. I'll take my leave now, if you guys want to continue. Sure! It was fun hanging out with you. Let me know if you come across anything else weird, alright? Art and Laya left, chattering along the way out. They really clicked, huh? Despite Art's lack of sensitivity. I turned around and glanced over at the digital kiosk in the foyer, looking for the time. 1500. It's already 3 in the afternoon. Nothing regarding the killing game has happened all day. I guess I should be relieved. I really wanted to find Ashley, but it seemed like she was trying her best to put distance between us. I suppose I'll just pass time in the study. I made my way to the study and skimmed the collection of encyclopedias. An interesting titled book, Odd Theme Parks Across the World, caught my attention. With the tome in hand, I settled in the warmly lit study and began to leaf through the pages. Slowly, I began to learn about a roller coaster known as the Cyclone in Uranium City, Saskatchewan, where apparently 6 kids were killed. One of them lost their head, and they couldn't identify them. But then they were like revived or something through like some cat-style magic, and there was like a Listen, I haven't listened to Ride the Cyclone in a while, so my recollection of it is a little fuzzy. I passed the time reading about a strange underwater theme park called Limu. The Limu Emu. Ellipses. Ding dong, ding dong. I looked up from the book's pages and toward the ringing sound coming from the ceiling. It is now 4 p.m.
And no one has died yet? Ugh, how boring! Here's something that'll pump up your blood to shed some blood. Some inspiring, exciting, and energizing music.
Music?
This one's a special request from many of you at home. Enjoy!
Dev, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Dev, I'm gonna track you down and I'm gonna mail you a pipe bomb. I'm gonna mail you a fucking pipe bomb, I swear to God. I swear to the great rat in the sky, I'm gonna mail you a pipe bomb. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking do it. I fucking swear. You fucking asshole. You fucking motherfucker. You fucking you motherfucker. You bitch-ass motherfucker putting this shit. You put this fucking song that haunts my dreams. I hear it every fucking night when I go to sleep. You dare fucking do this to me, I swear. I will have my revenge on you. Nobody, and I mean nobody, should ever be playing this fucking song. I'm gonna fucking kill your ass. Anyways, the announcement finished and a cacophony of obnoxious noise started playing overhead. What kind of music is this?
It's EDM, like Jason Mendoza from The Good Place. The beat goes hard. No, it doesn't.
I dropped the book to cover my ears, but it was pointless. The reverberation pierced through my skull and pounded through the walls.
Well, if it's highly reverberation-based, then you could... I'm not saying that on YouTube.com.
What the hell? Scouring the room, I looked for the speaker, hoping to block the noise, but my efforts were futile. I ran out of the study, but the din kept crashing through my head, amplified worse from bouncing off of the hallway walls. Where is everyone? I instinctively went to the foyer, but it was no use. The door was disarmed, but it was still barricaded. What can I do? The noise was more severe in the foyer as it crashed off the walls and echoed through the main chamber. My head was pounding. I could feel the vibrations in my body and my heart beating in my ears. Turning away from the main doors, I saw shadowy movements at the top of the stairs. Hey! The shadow disappeared. I mustered out a cry for attention, but it was drowned out by the noise. Speeding up the stairs, the shadow was nowhere to be seen. Shoot! Where did they go? I peeked through the glass doors of the closest room, the spa lounge, and spotted Pandora reclined in one of the lounge chairs. Finally, someone to help me with this horrible situation. I threw the door wide open and rushed in. The music persisted as echoes of its beat flooded into the circular chamber. Pandora, what's going on? I can't find anybody. No reaction. Pandora? I closed the I fucking called it! Time froze. My breath escaped me once more as slowly came to realize what had happened. I felt my blood run cold as my eyes laid fixed on the stillness before me. Why did I get a Discord ping at that exact moment? Okay, apparently I'm being a little bit loud and that's concerning people. Fuck this game? No, this game is great. I read it like a book, though. I read it so good. There was no response from her. Pandora was dead. But, like, what happened? Chapter 1. Je ne peux réussir. Je ne peux réussir. I don't fucking know how to pronounce it still. I still don't fucking know how to pronounce it. I darted out of the spa lounge, my eyes tearing through the hall as I screamed at the top of my lungs for help from anyone. Help! 2 people swept in at the sound of my voice. What is it? Stop making so much noise. The music is making enough of a racket. There's no visual sign of death. Heart attack? There was some, like, a pink at their throat. How dare they kill the person with the coolest hair? I hate to say, coolest hair award goes to Cyrus over here. Actually, wait, no. It goes to, Lyle. It goes to Lyle, I think. Wasn't there strangulation marks on the neck? Yeah, there were. That's what I just said. Stop making so much noise. The music is making enough of a racket. It's Pandora! She's... Where is she? We raced back to the spa lounge. Cyrus's and Cannon's eyes were bound immediately toward the horrific sight. Cannon gasped sharply and flinched, nearly toppling over backwards from the recoil. Oh, okay, I didn't see it. Yes, you did. Cyrus's expression hardened. A quiet anger emanated from him. It almost palpable in the air. I myself was completely drained. All I could do was stare in a cold silence. Finally, the music ceased and a new announcement began. Bing bong!
At last, a body has been discovered! Students, please make your way to the spa lounge. You will be granted a period of investigation, and then we will begin our class trial. Please accept this generous gift of a special report called the Monokuma File. It will be printed from the digital kiosk and it outlines the details of our poor lost friend. Your lives depend on solving this case, so get a crack on it.
The announcement cut off, allowing stiff apprehension to suffocate the scene. I blame Art, I just don't like him. Okay. Investigation? They want us to investigate Pandora's dead body? And how dare that announcement call her a poor lost friend? It's their fault for forcing this game on us. Echo, please, calm yourself. It appears we're being given an opportunity to right this wrong. It may be difficult to swallow, but this didn't just happen out of nowhere. Someone did this. A culprit. Huh? A culprit? It's only appropriate. The culprit we're seeking is the killer, responsible for Pandora's death. His voice was firm, but I could see him clenching his jaw and his eyebrows furrowed as he looked back at the body. Kanon, however, stood unmoving. She neither moved nor spoke since I saw her flinch at the first sight. It's like she froze. Right. The door flew open suddenly, and I heard everyone clamoring at the spa lounge entryway. Sei shrieked and immediately fainted. Sei! The rest of the students made their way in, fright painting everyone's faces as they each caught sight of the spa's terrible centerpiece. Unbelievable. Hard disagree. Pandora's hair looked like baked goods, which fit the theme. I'm just a sucker for unique hair. Unique hair is always fun, yeah.
I wish that the announcement was made in jest, but it appears I have been made a fool for hoping.
Oh. This is too much. Why Pandora? Why? Everyone seemed at a loss, with good reason for sure. The announcement said we were given a period of investigation, but I couldn't help but think it was such a detached request. Investigate the murder of our friend? Where would we even begin? And that's where Lyle steps up. Or Missy, okay. I love hair with two different colors, hence my design. No, that's real. Missy's commanding voice broke the silence. So, we've been instructed to investigate such a thing. The Monokuma file should tell all about the means of her death. But how do we even start? Does anyone know the first thing about investigating a dead body? No one spoke up, but Missy pressed on. All we can do is investigate to the best of our ability. If there's even a small, trifling matter that plays into this, keep it in mind. We need to put our best foot forward in investigation if we are to find this heartless culprit. I have a bad feeling that the class trial may be an unforgiving scene.
It's such a tragedy. Dreadful more so that we must be the ones to discover the culprit. Among us.
Everyone was visibly stressed. We all stood some feet away from the body, afraid of approaching the reality of our situation. The air was thick with tension, but Ashley cut through. Missy's right. We need to get to the bottom of this. Someone killed our friend for some awful reason, if not for the ultimate prize. Murder is murder. Someone dies at another's hand and that life is taken away. One lives and one dies. There's no gray area about it. Ashley's eyes were fiery with intent. Someone here... She trailed off, but we could fill in the blanks on our own. She didn't dare to utter the idea that someone standing within our ranks did this. She marched over and gently laid a hand on Pandora's, sharing a moment of silence for her. The rest of the group was unnerved, but silently agreed. Missy and Ashley were stern, but they were right. I was shocked at the sight of Pandora's body, but I mostly felt sad. She looked peaceful, suspended in a newfound endless slumber. The longer I looked at Pandora, the more the suffocating melancholy in my heart grew. My heart ached to hear her voice again, to see her shit. I fucked up. I clicked too early, and now I need to wait for my stream to catch up on my chat reading device. To see her smile. She had so much in life, and it was dashed away in an instant. Alright. I clung to whatever memories I had of her. I couldn't let her warmth, her love, her hope go unforgotten. Someone killed her, and we needed to find out who. Not only for our peace of mind, but for Pandora's sake. They truly have opened Pandora's box. Despite my fervor, I was still anxious about investigating a body. It was only natural. Just this morning, Pandora was so animated, sharing her breakfast pastries and getting along with everyone. But now all signs of life were erased, leaving a cold semblance of her person.
What's with the ellipses, Sawdust? What's with the ellipses?
Do you notice the little rag here in the pool, too? That's like one of the first things I noticed. I tried to work through the nerves by asking the others their thoughts on the situation. That is, if anyone had anything to say. Monokuma file. The Monokuma file sheds some light on Pandora's death. It looks like a considerable amount has been conveniently omitted. Or rather, the entire file has been paraphrased for the purpose of vagueness. May I take a look? Missy handed me a black postcard-sized sheet. Monokuma File 1, Ultimate Student Victim Report. Victim, Pandora Espere. Cause of death, victim suffered from strangulation. No further injuries detected. So it was strangulation. But is that all the information we have?
Unfortunately. However, we have yet to inspect the scene itself. I trust none of the first witnesses shifted anything around upon arrival.
No, I didn't touch anything. I saw her body, ran out and yelled for help, which called Cyrus and Kanan. Neither of them approached her.
Well, there's not much else we can do.
I swallowed hard. I still wasn't ready to confront the body, but I steeled myself regardless. Something deep in my heart told me I needed to do this.
Echo, I know what you're thinking. It's hard, but we need to face her.
Scrap of paper. There's a small scrap of paper in the pool.
What's that?
Not sure. I carefully fished out the scrap of paper, taking care not to tear it. It's the ticket! It was soaked, causing the words to be completely illegible.
Oh, it's impossible to read.
Yeah, it's ruined. It almost fell apart in my hands.
A note, perhaps? However, the writing is impossible to decipher at this point. But how could this refuse... Excuse me? But how could this refuse be remotely related to the case at hand?
Dunno, it seems kind of out of place, though.
Remember the announcement from this morning said there was a special gift for whoever went to the atrium? That is correct. Is it possible that this note was the supposed special gift?
I can't say. However, I noticed the larger ink blots were vaguely in the shape of something I had seen before. I left the shreds of paper on the side of the pool. It's Pandora's body. Pandora's bracelet, formerly a rose gold color like my own, was now a vibrant neon pink. I guess it meant she's gone.
As difficult as it is, we have to search the body and scene for clues.
Nevertheless, Missy was having a hard time looking directly at Pandora's body.
Do you notice anything odd?
I briefly looked at Pandora's neck. Her neck seems to be in pretty bad shape. It looks pink from some kind of stress, but other than that, I can't really figure anything else out.
The victim report. According to the Monokuma file, the cause of death states she suffered strangulation. Let's think about it. If she was strangled, with what did the culprit strangle her with? Good question. Do you think the culprit went to the climbing center and used a rope? Or perhaps they cruelly used their own bare hands?
I shuddered at the thought. The fact that we had to think of how the culprit committed such a thing was unnerving.
Anything else clickable? Discuss. Oh, I love this! Holy hell, these are amazing portraits. Can I just say, I love all of these characters. Like, as much as I'm shitting on some of them, I love these fucking characters. Alright, I guess we're gonna go, in order. Arturo! Ugh, I think I'm gonna be sick.
I rubbed his back as he took deep breaths. Hey, it'll be okay. Art could barely eke out a word in his state. Ashley Westbridge.
Echo. It's selfish, but after I heard the announcement, I was relieved to see you standing in the room. That said, Pandora didn't deserve this.
No one deserves this.
Lyle be just chillin' doing puzzles. Yeah. I just hope she didn't suffer.
Ashley fell silent and stared at our lost friend.
She was strangled. That is a very suffering death. Bleh.
I had never seen Ashley so distraught.
Cyrus! This is distressing to say the least. Echo, were you the first one here?
Yeah, I didn't catch anyone on my way here, though. so I can't say I saw anyone suspicious who could have done this. You came pretty quickly after I shouted. Did you happen to see anyone?
I can't say that I did. I was in the climbing center right next door, too.
Was Kanon with you? She came at about the same time as you, if I recall correct.
No, I was by myself. While I was in the climbing center, I left the door open if anyone wanted to join in recreation. No one came by the center, and I didn't leave until I heard your voice. I ran into Kanon shortly thereafter in the hallway, just in front of the spa lounge.
Okay, so immediately I'm thinking if she was indeed strangled with a rope from the climbing gym, Cyrus is the most suspicious. I will be very disappointed if Cyrus is the first killer, because Cyrus is hot, and the green-haired characters deserve to live. I mean, come on. You can't do this. Rantaro in V3, Cyrus in this. I mean, come on, man. Yes, but she doesn't look disheveled, so maybe she was asleep just relaxing in the spa. That's fair. Weird. I didn't run into anyone on the first floor either, so whoever did it must have just vanished?
That's unlikely. Regardless, how did the culprit give us the slip?
Cyrus was grumbling to himself as he tried to organize the events past.
I hate to say, but currently Cyrus is my #1 suspect. Is it really possible that the music provoked murder?
I can't wrap my head around music being used to motivate something so extreme.
I agree. I cannot condone the vilifying of music. It's proven that music has therapeutic qualities, but conversely, select sounds have the ability to cause anxiety and other negative effects.
In that case, maybe the motivating music was meant to make us stop thinking clearly? I definitely felt startled when it began. Alright. My throat is now finished. I think we're going to get all the way done with the investigation and then end it so that way next stream we can do the trial. Or I'll take a small break to refill my drink and then we'll do the trial. It depends on how I'm feeling when we get there.
Perhaps the rhythm of music can affect our body. Given our experience with the motivating music, it was high-paced and likely used to cause, as the announcer said, blood-pumping excitement. I suppose those qualities could have been abused to activate a fight-or-flight response that would inevitably end up like this.
Is that so?
That wretched music was certainly irritating, but for someone to succumb and produce such an intense reaction, to what end?
Was the music really that motivating? Don't talk to me. Kanon spoke through tightly gritted teeth. She looked disturbed.
I'm gonna leave Lyle for last.
Sei fainted as soon as she entered the spa lounge. Forte was kind enough to situate her in a spare chair off to the side to regain her strength.
I admit this is nothing if not shocking to see.
The words were unwavering, but Missy's voice was cracked and disjointed.
DR LAPSE, hell yeah. Hi Mochi, welcome, welcome. Yes, I'm playing Danganronpa LAPSE.
Yeah, I can't believe it actually happened.
It's inconceivable, and to Pandora nonetheless. She held together quite strongly. I'm certain her spirit would not have been crushed by a game constructed of fear. Alas, there's no use thinking in hopeful hypotheticals, now that this has occurred.
Yeah. I was shaken at how articulate, even on the subject of death, Missy remained. Hi, baby boy. How's it going?
I loved playing this fangun when I found out about it. I won't spoil, don't worry. You better not fucking spoil, I swear. This is the first time I've played a Danganronpa game completely blind, because all the others I watched a playthrough of it beforehand and I already knew what was going on.
Lyle, what are you thinking? If I'm being honest, I don't know. There's not a lot on the scene to dissect. The only thing that caught my eyes was that shred of paper in the spa pool, but it's completely ruined. I expected a bit more keen observations from him, but even Lyle was either stumped or too shocked to speak on the matter.
Some other people.
Continue. It is still so surprising that this was made in fucking Renpai. After investigating Pandora's body, I felt an exhaustion like none other. Never in my life did I think I would be experiencing something like this. The weight of the shock and melancholy of it all bore heavy on my shoulders. Is there nothing else we can do? I wonder, did anyone see anything else suspicious on their way over here? We all looked at one another, but no one replied. Everyone was understandably on edge. Of course no one wanted to talk.
It appears we've exhausted all avenues of investigation here. Such a lackluster amount of clues doesn't bode well for us.
Yes, but if we've done all we can looking into the scene, there's nothing left but to discover Pandora's killer. Of course that's easier said than done. I heard Kanan grumbling in the corner. She seemed distressed.
Alright, I think I've given you all enough leeway to get yourselves together. So it's time for the class trial. I hope you have enough ammunition to shoot down the culprit. If not, then I guess you're all out of luck. There's an elevator in the main foyer that'll cruise you all down to the special class trial courtroom. If you do not assemble in the elevator quickly, I'll send out a radio transmission that'll release the toxic gas in your bracelets. You want to find out who did it, right? You don't want your lives to end before you even have the chance to defend yourselves, right? All that and more will be available for your group in the courtroom, with 4 easy payments of $10.99. Let's get a move on. I'll be seeing you shortly.
The announcement went out as quickly as it came. So, this is really happening. The group shifted around anxiously. Well, what are we waiting for? Ashley took the first strides out of the room, but not without giving Pandora one last somber look from the doorway. Forte gently eased Say awake, turning her gaze from the unsightly scene and helping her as she hobbled out. One by one, the others filtered out of the spa lounge. I stood back for a moment to take one last look at Pandora. Alright. Okay, now, I will be right back. I would like to do the full chapter 1 today. I would like to get it done. I would like to get it finished. I would like to go on to the trial. I was so sad when Pandora died. I fucking called their shit. There were so many death flags. I called it, like, really quickly. But, I will be right back. I'm just gonna go, you know, refill my drink for this trial, so my voice doesn't die. I will see you in a minute! The rat has returned! Yippee! Yippee! Yay! The rat's back! Now, of course, we are going to save right here. Alright. Yummy oiter. Alright. We all stepped into the large elevator and began the dark descent into the supposed courtroom. The elevator sailed noiselessly toward our unknown destination for what felt like an eternity. Silently we stood. No one dared speak. I had a lump in my throat from the anxiety, the fear, the sadness. My stomach was knotted. Hey, that's not the only thing that's knotted. My head dizzy, my heart aching, my knees weak, my arms heavy. There was vomit on my sweater already, mom's spaghetti. The spa lounge we were meant to investigate came short of any useful clues. We were only able to procure 2 traces of evidence, one fact of which was already stated simply in the victim report, and the other was a secret note that only few were aware of. Nervous was an understatement. I was at a complete loss. The elevator eventually slid to a standstill, shaking me from my thoughts. The doors opened to reveal our rendezvous point. The spacious dome-shaped room was topped with a glass ceiling, a third of the foundation revealing the sunset sky outside our confines. The walls themselves were barren and simple, a matte navy blue with a rim light illuminating the room. Hanging on the wall across the way was a grim picture frame representing Pandora. Her profile had been crudely stricken with a violent pink X. The picture frame was positioned so that it was looking, almost hauntingly, over a circular group of podiums. It was a bleak place to think there was a dedicated location for whatever was about to occur. Just where were we?
Welcome one and all to the trial grounds! The stands before you will be the key locale for today's trial, so let's see some hustle, people!
The announcement was much more imposing in the courtroom, echoing through the dome chamber, each reverberation almost pushing us into place. We steadily settled in and stood in silence. At the stands we were placed in a circular fashion. Our faces, our fears, and our emotions were exposed to one another. Some could say trial chamber. Angel, I'm gonna fucking kill you. The atmosphere, thick with anxiety, was palpable and crushing. I could feel my heavy heart pounding in my head. My palms were sweaty. My knees were weak. My arms were heavy. There was vomit on my sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. Yet I could feel a dreadful, eerie chill go up my spine. I tried to be strong, but my knees were weak. My arms were heavy. There was vomit on my sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. Stop saying it! You're making it too easy. My breath short. We were here because of one unmistakable fact. There was vomit on my sweater already. Someone killed her. Pandora Espere, the ultimate baker. A gentle and caring person who wanted nothing more than to share her good spirit and delectable treats with the world. Someone here was responsible for her death. I don't like how the first victim is portrayed as the first person shown here, and then the very next person is my current prime suspect. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. And the only thing that kept me standing firm was the drive to figure out who heartlessly ended her life. A light began to flicker weakly from the center of the circle of stands. The flickering gained strength as a shape began to take form within the light. Something like the shape of a person began to appear.
Oh, ha, ha, ha. Welcome one and all. Welcome to the courtroom. Who are you?
What is that?
Who am I? What is that? Bah, answers to those questions don't matter too much. Besides, I think you ought to have more pressing questions, since something super bad has transpired. All you really need to know is that I'm your lovely judge for today's trial. Okay, maybe I'm not a real certified judge or whatever, but I will be the one passing judgment on what happens today and after each subsequent murder to come. Judge but not really a judge is too long and confusing to address me, so you may call me... Zero.
Fuck off! Fuck off with that shit. You Zero Escape wannabe. Where's your fucking gas mask? Come on. The hologram of a person named Zero presented itself. Edgelord, yeah, I'm saying, like... Giving a face to the voice of our killing game announcer. So it's a trial chamber, but it's also a judgment hall. It's a judgment hall. Mask-On Season 3, I'm gonna make it look like this. I mean, to be fair, the current season, it does look like this a little bit, but...
Class trial.
All rise!
Without further ado, I take it you all know why you're here. Jeez, you're all a quiet bunch, aren't you? You're all here to suss out who done it. In other words, you're all on trial to figure out who the culprit of today's heinous crime is. Did you think you could just get away with murder and win the prize? Nah, it's not that simple.
Kinda, yeah, but it's super bright and contrasty. Yeah.
Next one will be so much darker. The next one will fill you with fear.
And hopefully the next one, you won't be out so goddamn early.
The rules are as follows. Discuss, discover, and determine who the culprit is among your group, otherwise known as the Triple D. A majority vote will seal the individual's fate. Well, just see what happens from there, yeah? One of few outcomes will occur. Determine and vote incorrectly and the entire class is executed, with the culprit alone able to walk free and win the ultimate prize. That's the ideal endgame for the culprit. Determine and vote correctly and the culprit alone will receive proper retribution and perish at the hands of your group decision. Phew, you just might live to see another day.
Hopefully I'm in the next one. What? Hold on. What are you fucking talking about? You are! Mochi, what are you fucking on about? You are in Mask On. Oh, you mean you hope you get invited back. Okay. You worded that a little oddly. Remember, you're talking to an autistic person here.
Our victim today is Pandora Spere, the ultimate baker. A sweet young lady who could do nothing wrong. Or could she? Well, people can't surprise you. So with that out of the way, get to talking.
Who exactly are you?
What? You're still asking that even though I introduced myself all nice? You should have bigger concerns than that. Talk about the murder. I can't believe who did it. Isn't your top priority right now. Huh? No one wants to talk. Need I remind you your lives are kind of on the line? If none of you start talking, you'll all default to having lost the trial and you'll all be executed.
Is this a legit Danganronpa game? It looks fan-made. It is fan-made. It is indeed a Danganronpa. Nice, yeah.
You don't want that, do you?
Executed? What does that mean?
The dictionary definition of execute, to carry out a sentence of death. It's really quite simple. On the one hand, it makes my job easier. I don't have to listen to bad deductions.
I've never played Danganronpa, so what's the tie-in to the original? The tie-in to the original is that it's a game where you kill someone else and then you have to go through a class trial. That's literally it. Also, why the hell are you watching this stream if you've never played a Danganronpa game? A fangun is gonna be your first introduction to Danganronpa? Are you kidding me? Am I really gonna have to do, like, non-genuine streams of the first 3 Danganronpa games? 1, 2, and V3? I already know everything that happens in them. It wouldn't be entertaining. Angel, are you kidding me? Because you love visual... How do you love visual novels and you don't know what Danganronpa is? What? No, you'll play it yourself? You should! You should play it yourself. It's really good! Anyways.
On the other hand, I'd be terribly bored if this game didn't go past the first chapter.
Fuck off with your Keiji Shinogi-ass laugh. Oh my god. Everyone, please, we need to discuss who could have possibly done the unthinkable. As trifling or even irrelevant as something may be, if you have any concerns about the case, speak now. I know of it, I just never played it. Sure, whatever. Look at these bastards. It's scary. Say, are you okay? Say, please don't push yourself. Yes, thank you. If he wants us to talk, I'll talk. I'll talk about how scared I am. I just want to go home. I can't get used to anything around here. I don't know any of you people. You people? And then someone gets killed? Say... I understand it's difficult, but discussing our friend's death is necessary to ensure we don't find a similar fate ourselves. At the very least, we can try to remember our last moments with her. I like that you sounded genuinely offended. I'm not. There's an old friend of mine who, whenever anybody said "you people" in any context, she would just go, "You people." Yeah, I haven't talked to them in a while. But yeah, it's just a vocal thing I picked up. That Zero is right. We don't want to go down without a fight, right? Why don't we begin with Pandora's last known whereabouts? The silence in the room was oppressive. A trial to defend ourselves? Why did I need to defend myself if I know for a fact that I would never kill her? Regardless, no one knew where to start. Well then, I shall begin. Last I saw her, we were sharing a quiet breakfast. I can back that. The group was composed of Art, Echo, Missy, Pandora, and myself in the dining hall from about 7:40 a.m. to 10 a.m. That's a long-ass breakfast. What the hell? What the fuck were you doing? I was there and I don't know how it took that long. What do you mean it took you 2 hours and 20 minutes to eat breakfast? After that, we all kinda went our own way. I went around the mansion with Echo to talk to the others who weren't at breakfast. Hotel breakfast times? My god, Limphao, don't they have school? Sipping tea and spilling tea. Synthetic teapot, you do know... A synthetic teapot, welcome to the stream, by the way. I'm not sure if I said that. You do know they were fucking kidnapped, right? You do know they were abducted and taken to this facility, right? You do know there's no fucking way they're going to a school, right? You are aware of that, right? I'm sorry, after apparently somebody here doesn't fucking know what Danganronpa is, I have to make sure. I went around the mansion with Echo to talk to the others who weren't at breakfast. Who did we see again, Echo? Art doesn't recall the people we visited after breakfast. Let's see, we met with... Kanan... Forte, Missy, and Lyle, I think. No, I don't recall seeing Missy after breakfast. Okay, well, I know we saw Kanan, Lyle, and Forte, so... Oh, yeah! Well, yeah, but, like, they still might have, like, instinctual obligations to keep routine. You're telling me these kidnappers don't care about education? How despicable. I mean, it's better to get no education than to be forced to, like, hit your daily Duolingo streak. Because Duolingo's fucking all generative AI by now. Which, you know, means it's fucking useless, so... Oh yeah! Those people were Sei, Kanan, Forte, and Lyle. And we asked them about their talents. That's right. But when we were touring the mansion, we met with those four and no one else. The only ones we didn't see after breakfast were Pandora and Ashley. I mean, we met with Pandora when we were talking to Kanan, but she didn't stick around long. She said she had somewhere to be and left to go who knows where. We at least know that Duolingo's marketing team hasn't been replaced with AI yet. Listen, I'ma be for real. I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. Like, I'm very much so see that as a thing that could happen. Alright. I must go now because I have theater rehearsal. Bye-bye. Hope you enjoy the trial and have a great rest of stream. I will. Would you say you, love play rehearsal? Because it's the best. Because it is fun. I cannot be referencing Be More Chill in the year of our Lord 2025. What is fucking wrong with me? So, there's a period of time in which no one saw Pandora last. Is that correct? That window apparently being somewhere between 10 a.m. to approximately 4 p.m. Can anyone else provide their whereabouts in that approximate time frame? I was alone in the study for a good portion of the afternoon. I went to the theater at about 2:30 p.m. Oh, you must have left just before I went in. I went to the study at 3 p.m. I spent my time in my personal room. I wasn't in one place. I was investigating the mansion. Until 3, that is. I met up with Art for a little bit and eventually landed in the jazz club right before 4.
I was regaling myself with the amenities in the theater for much of the afternoon.
Never been more disappointed in my dad when he comes home like, I couldn't figure this out, so I used ChatGPT. Do you want me to kill that guy for you? Because it sounds like he sucks, and I'd be more than willing to kill that guy for you. For legal reasons, that's a joke.
I was regaling myself with the amenities in the theater for much of the afternoon.
I was in my room too. After I had a meal with Art and Echo, I went back and didn't leave at all. I was in the atrium for a while. It looks like no one has a particularly strong alibi except Art and Echo, who can vouch for each other until 3 p.m. What does that mean? It means that since many of us were acting on our own for an extended period of time, our whereabouts can be heavily doubted. Anyone could have lied about their activity and instead set up some sort of trap to get rid of Pandora, since no one saw each other. So we're all suspicious?
It's difficult to narrow down who is potentially suspicious on these claims alone.
Let's calm down and think thoroughly. Why don't we move the topic to the forced motive question? The question, along with the motivation music, was provided to push someone to commit crime. We ought to figure out what about the question would have caused such distress. The forced motive question? A small group of us talked about it briefly this morning over breakfast, but ultimately we couldn't figure out the purpose of the question. I still have my bets on Cyrus! Why don't we discuss the purpose now that everyone is present? Discussion commence. The purpose of the forced motive question. The question was, are your talents a true representation of who you are? Who are you beyond your talent? What could it mean? I should pay attention to statements that might sound interesting. A question to provoke killing? It makes no sense. How can a simple question make us do something as extreme as end someone's life? This morning, we speculated that sharing the history behind our talents would only create a greater bond between us.
I am inclined to agree with that conclusion. It only makes sense, after all.
But it's also possible that it's a tactic used to instill distrust and cause discord. Welcome to Lord of the Flies, children! Yes! Lord of the Flies, you British bastards! The purpose of the forced motive question. The question was, what could it mean? I should pay attention to statements that might sound interesting. Okay, well, if it's that simple, then it's just this. What do you mean by distrust, Ash? Let's say someone didn't want to talk about their talent, despite the talent being something that's highly lauded. If someone wouldn't want to talk about such an unassuming topic, their resistance should be suspicious, right? But just because someone's talent is public knowledge, it doesn't necessarily mean the individual's life and practice behind it should be public as well. Ash, you kept your talent unknown to me for whatever reason. Are you saying you want me to believe you're suspicious? Of course not! How could you even say that? Did you ask someone about the forced motive question and not get an answer? No, I just didn't want to bother anyone with such a potentially loaded question. Is my talent a true representation of who I am? I never thought about my talent as a representation of me. It was simply a hobby that spiraled into something incredulous. I never would have thought racing would lead me to end up in such a strange mess. Hashtag my oiter, hashtag my beverage. Sorry to press you so hard, Ash. Art asked me if I knew everything about your talent, and I couldn't properly answer him. Ashley's whole split-up thing makes me suspicious of her, not gonna lie. I really don't think it would be Ashley, though. I don't think they're gonna pull the "it was your best friend" card. I mean, look. There were realistically two options for, like, the obvious culprits. One of them would be Ashley herself. Getting rid of your best friend, getting rid of the person who you would think that they would be your confidant, your close companion in the game. Getting rid of them first, that's a classic subversion of expectations. So, that's one. Two was, what we're seeing here. The person who, after your companion ditched you, you sort of attached yourself to. That is also sort of playing on the same book. And so I think it would just... I don't think somebody who's as big a fan as I don't think somebody who's big enough of a fan of Danganronpa to make a fan game would go down that route. I just don't think that it's gonna end up being Ashley. And if Ashley does end up being a victim or committing a murder, it's not gonna be first. Again, I mean, my only two suspicions are Kanan and Cyrus. Mainly due to the fact that they were the first to respond to us getting to the crime scene. That said, I think this conversation eventually proved your point, that it could cause discord. There's contention, even between us. That's alright. I'm sorry if keeping it a secret hurt you, Echo. I didn't mean to tie you up in such complications. It's not so complicated. You're my friend. If anything hurts, it's the fact that I burdened you with this topic. Well, that's the purpose of discussion, isn't it? To bring ideas and theories to light? And I don't suppose I just performed an example of the question causing such altercation. Consent. Oh, wasn't that something?
Best friends reconciling their differences for the sake of proving a fucking point. I suppose every discussion has to start fucking somewhere. I'm gonna start ad-libbing this guy as if he was written by Vivzipop. Okay, as you fuckers were.
I don't know. I think it's funny. I think it's a little bit. I think it'd be a little bit funny. I don't know. I'm just fucking bullshitting. I'm trying to be entertaining. That's what streaming is. That's what streaming is. It's the entertainment. I don't know what to tell you. Right. Thank you for that bookend, Zero. In that case, what if the question posed was meant to make us look at Ultimate Student's talents as an ends justifies the means product? A mean justice fries served with what? What the fuck are you talking about, Art? I was actually about to say Vivzipop character voice. No, that's just Shock Jock radio host. The end justifies the means, a saying in which a result is deemed so important that any method, morally good or bad, may be used to achieve it. Hear me out, it would be so cool if Lyle found and killed Zero. I think that should be the finale. Yeah, I fucking love Lyle. Hold on. I've done a thing. In this case, I believe what Echo is saying is regardless how someone achieved such advanced talent, or what the person is like behind it is meaningless in the grand scheme of having an ultimate talent. After all, didn't we all sign up for the Preservation Project, knowing full well that we needed to bear an ultimate title?
An ultimate title? A precariously valuable title someone receives for super excelling in their field of expertise.
But what does this possibility have to do with Pandora getting killed? There's no way anyone was, jealous of her talent or something, was there? We were all strangers before meeting in this scary place anyway. I fully want to believe. I want to believe we all got along well with her. We all got along with each other, in fact. Without the killing game pressure, I don't see how anyone could possibly harbor any ill will. Someone comfort Say for me. Yeah, sorry. Say's gonna be sitting there sobbing for a while. Okay, I adjusted it wrong. Your name is outside of the border. Alright, there we go. That should be better. Hopefully. There we go. I'm trying to put the chat box better within the chat box. Also, who decided to kill the only chef-esque person first? Now no one gets to enjoy fresh baked goods. I'm saying like?
Nah, someone's gotta fucking hate her ass.
What?
What? I'm bored. You weren't talking about anything interesting, so I thought I'd throw you all a fucking bone to get the bitch ball rolling a little faster.
Okay, I can't fucking do this. I cannot fucking do this.
Not one single person is gonna be loved by everyone. It's just not possible.
How could you say that? She did nothing but show kindness and warmth toward everyone. Pandora only ever wanted to share good food with good friends. Yes, she always worked tirelessly to bring us together with her delicacies. Ugh.
Blah!
Oh, good show, everyone. Huh? You're all such great actors. I guess it's been fun watching, but the discussion isn't really going anywhere.
Oh.
I'll just put an end to this now. This case, this trial, it's all an elaborate ARG scheme. Lyle? It's all an act. The reason why there's so few clues, it's just a way to save resources. Imagine if the folks setting up the game had to use a bunch of fake blood to create the scene. Though I suppose for the sake of entertainment, such systems exist to waste resources. Lyle, what are you talking about? Pandora isn't dead. She can't be. Nothing adds up. But I suppose if you want me to keep playing, I'll say this. Let's think about who was on the scene first. If I recall correctly, it was Echo, wasn't it? Yeah, I saw Pandora's body first. Then I called for help, which made Cyrus and Cannon arrive shortly after. Okay, easy. The culprit is one of you three. What? On what grounds do you think you can speculate that? Pandora's time of death was 4:05, right? I'll set the scene. We're just minding our own business in the mansion, not knowing what's to come. Soon some nasty music starts playing, one of you three starts getting stressed out, so you strangle the first person you see. How else could we narrow down the culprit? It has to be someone who was near the scene after 4 p.m. And that person couldn't have gotten far after escaping the crime scene. In my opinion, a motivation to kill, a la stress for music, is kinda shoddy writing. But at least there was an attempt. Lyle keeps going on about the killing game being an ARG, but her death seemed so real. This is really fucking good. I mean, Lyle, I already said basically all of that. Like, I already said it was either Kanon or Cyrus. Huh? Wait, doesn't that mean everyone's alibis from earlier don't amount to anything? Bingo. I believe you all discussed your whereabouts up to approximately 3 p.m. latest, but no one said anything from then to 4 p.m. when the music started. The critical moment to consider is the time just before the murder occurred, obviously. If someone offed Pandora via acute strangulation and made their getaway, it's not likely the culprit would have gotten far from then, and when Echo supposedly discovered the body. So, with the window of action narrowed down to between 4 and 4:05, does anyone care to share their newly updated whereabouts? God, I want Lyle so fucking bad. I'm Arrow Ace, by the way. Where we all were in the approximate time around 4 p.m. leading up to the motivational music. If we follow through with Lyle's speculation, we might glean some information that will help us. Not the Copperplate font. Hey, don't diss Copperplate. I fucking love Copperplate. After hanging out with Lyle, I went to the atrium. The music was blasting in there. Missy joined me in the theater after the music started. I thought Forte and I could go backstage and control the sound system, but our attempts were futile. As a graphic designer, I'm side-eyeing you hard. Okay, listen, it's not my favorite font, but it's up there. If you'd care to know, my favorite font is Yuzu Penjin, and my second favorite is Tsukimi Rounded. And my favorite font is only Yuzu Penjin because I fucking love Your Turn to Die. So... I was in my room still, hiding under the covers. I told you, I was in the foyer leading up to the music. It was noisy, sure, but nothing I couldn't deal with. I was in the jazz club. I told Echo earlier as well. I was in the climbing center and saw no one suspicious dart past the open door. Wouldn't I have had to pass the climbing center? Why did you leave the door open in the first place? I left it open just in case anyone else wanted to join me. That's it? Is that reasoning so unbelievable? I guess not. Ah, goddammit. Where we all were in the approximate time around 4 p.m. leading up to the motivational music. If we follow through with Lyle's speculation, we might glean some information that will help us. Blah, 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 blah. I went to the atrium. I don't think we can sidestep that. Missy joined me in the theater. Before Jane and I could go backstage and control the sound system. In room hiding under the covers. Nothing. Jazz club. Open door. Like, say I was in my room too. Okay. We would have saw you! We had to go through the atrium! Did you run to the atrium when the music started playing? No, I was already around that area after hanging out with Lyle. Why would I go to a giant room that echoes to avoid that horrible music? Ugh, shit. Okay, well that narrows it down. So you can vouch for each other, right?
Yes, because Missy had an idea that required my assistance.
I thought Forte and I could go backstage and control the sound system, but our attempts were futile. I was hiding in the room. It was noisy, sure, but nothing couldn't handle it. I was in the jazz club. Objection? I guess it's the only one left. Wait a minute, Lyle. I know for a fact that the jazz club is soundproof. That's right. When I attempted to play the cello yesterday, you and Cyrus were just outside the jazz club in the hallway. Neither of you seemed to have any reaction when we came out shortly after. That means it's possible that Lyle is exempt from hearing the motivational music. Does it? I suppose you're onto something. I admit, I don't even know what the motivational music sounds like, but... Well, no, it's just what I hear when I think of Danganronpa's Hold It. No, that's fair. Confluence. But nothing. That's an awfully precarious situation you put yourself in, Lyle. Sure, it's odd, but what's stranger still is how did Lyle know about the motivational music if he never heard it? The kiosks. Remember? They translate sound to text, but this time I saw only a message. It said something like preserving the atmosphere of the room. 0.
What's up?
You are the judge of this trial, but you are also the announcement operator outside these walls. I assume you can assist us with something clerical like this? Can you tell us what the kiosk message said in specific?
Your current room is a special room that blocks all outside sound to preserve the atmosphere of the room. Please enjoy to your heart's content. I didn't write that, by the way. So you're saying we could have avoided the noise entirely?
Hold on, I got another Discord ping. Hashtag my Discord pings. Okay, this is a ping from one of my Mafia games. I'm gonna have to reply to that soon.
So you're saying we could have avoided the noise entirely?
Isn't that too convenient? Wait a minute. In that case, what if Lyle is the one who killed Pandora? What? Didn't I just say that it was the music that would have provoked someone to kill her? I was in the jazz club. I didn't even hear the music. Therefore, I wouldn't have felt the motivation to move. No, you could have killed her in the jazz club and moved her body to the spa lounge.
That would explain the lack of clues in the spa lounge.
This is troublesome. Did any of us investigate the jazz club afterwards? I would have if you'd let me. No, I was so shocked from seeing the body that I didn't even think about looking elsewhere. I think we were just as astonished as soon as we heard the body discovery chime.
So perhaps Lyle counted on the fact, and did in fact kill her in the jazz club. He doesn't have an alibi for a large portion of the afternoon anyway. Saying something like scouring the mansion for clues, he could have spent the whole day unsupervised plotting the terrible thing that ended Pandora's life.
Hey, haven't you heard the phrase extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence? Well, that's not out of the question. After all, the ultimate puzzle master could have set up something elaborate. So elaborate that the answer to this murder puzzle goes right over our head. That can't be possible. I was in the climbing center, which is between the spa lounge and jazz club. If Lyle committed the crime in the jazz lounge, I would have been plainly witness to the change of scene.
You very well could have constructed that alibi to assist Lyle in his dark activity.
Now, why on earth would I lie about such a thing? Settle down! Yelling at each other with hypotheticals isn't getting us anywhere. Agreed. If it will quell Sai and Forte's worries, let's tackle their initial theory and go from there. Sai and Forte are wrapped up in the possibility of Lyle killing Pandora in the jazz club. Is it worth discussing? No, because obviously that didn't fucking happen. Sai, Forte, please calm down. There's no way Lyle could have killed her and then moved the body. What? That's because someone would have seen him do that. Yes, I would have seen Lyle move the body if that were the case. But remember, I left the climbing center's doors open. The climbing center is located between the spa lounge and jazz club. By the recorded time of killing, the music would have been playing, and by then I was no longer climbing. Not with that din distracting me.
All right, perhaps I'll accept your admission as truth. Seeing as the plausibility of Lyle moving the body is unfounded, where do we stand now?
Oh my stars, you are all so bad at this!
What?
I'll tell you all for certain that nothing happened in the jazz club.
Huh?
And I'm telling you this because you're all just awful at this whole trial thing.
Huh.
Jeez, I guess this is what happens when there's no ultimate detective around, huh? And your ultimate photographer's so quiet, she's all but dropped dead at this point. If she did drop dead, you'd have to go through another trial, and I don't think I have the patience to watch you run in circles at this rate. Alright, since this is clearly going nowhere, allow me to throw you a bone.
Hashtag my order.
There's something strange about that note in the spa pool, don't you think?
I mean, I could have fucking said that.
Lyle very conveniently managed to redirect the conversation from the piece of evidence on scene. I'll let you all think for yourselves.
The note. The note must have something to do with Pandora's murder, but what? I'm certain Art and Lyle know something about it since Lyle brought it up with us, but...
Hello? What's with all the dead air? I don't want to talk anymore. You don't want everyone to die without giving the trial your best shot, do you? Like, are any of you even trying to save yourselves? Maybe I should stop giving you these opportunities.
The courtroom fell silent. It seems we all neglected the gravity of the situation, or rather, we were avoiding it. It's just, nothing felt real. Pandora's death, her body hardly showing any signs of injury. It was like she was asleep. It's as if we all wanted to forget the reality of the topic at hand, which was that someone had killed our friend. We kept dodging and darting around the main issue. Yes, as painful as it is, we must discuss the murder. It may seem hopeless at the moment, since we don't have much information to work with, but clues will reveal themselves as we bring about certain topics to light. So, don't hold your tongue. We must do this to save ourselves. Then, I'll start with her cause of death. From there, it'll probably be easier to reason out potential culprits. According to the Monokuma file, it was strangulation. Can we identify what she was strangled with? We ought to touch upon the possibilities. It may be difficult to think about, but no one said such a fight would be easy. I still think it was Cyrus, and I hate to say it. Just what was Pandora strangled with? Is there something we're missing? I was thinking it might have been rope from the climbing center. Rope seems like a common enough tool in things like this. Yeah, but Cyrus said he didn't see anyone near the climbing center. And I don't recall seeing any rope left in the spa lounge. The culprit could have retrieved it far in advance and disposed of it after the fact, though. Or it could have been Cyrus! I guess, but why not dispose of the suspicious note as well? It was left in such a conspicuous place. Isn't that strange? Oh, well, as long as we're able to eliminate options, it'll get us a little closer to the truth, right? It's horrifying to think about, but Perhaps the culprit used their own hands. I can't bear the thought of someone using their bare hands to do this. It's too cruel. Wait, Missy. If you think about it, though, if someone was grasping so tight, don't you think there would be fingernail marks dug into the skin? I yield that you could be right. There weren't any signs of such brutality. I wouldn't easily forget something as violent as nails being dug into the skin, if that helps clarify the possibility. I suppose I'm relieved to hear that. Just what was Pandora strangled with?
We also ought to think about what in the spa lounge could be used.
A towel! What in the spa lounge could be used? If we consider the following. The climbing center and jazz club were occupied by one person each. Neither of the occupants saw anyone else during their stay. And the killing occurred soon after the 4 p.m. music, so it's likely the culprit could have only used whatever was available on location. What, if anything, could be used? Think. Give me a brief moment. There's been a knock at my door. Food. I have food now. I have food. I have dinner. That'll be fun. French fries and pork. Before anybody asks. Alright. I have to, adjust my mouse location and such. Think. What is the murder weapon? Oh, it so could have been something that was already on her. Could it be? I was right about the towel. Hell yeah. Echo, are you onto something? I think so. You brought up a good line of thought that made me rethink the scenario. I recall seeing something that might answer our question. Food, hashtag my food. This will be going by a little bit slower now that I have food. I believe the culprit may have used a towel to strangle her. It's an unassuming object, isn't it? Of course there are going to be towels in the spa lounge. So the culprit took advantage of the location and utilized the tools available. The tool being the very towel she was resting her head on. Then they must have strangled her by wrapping the towel around her neck and pulling until she stopped struggling. Take your time, I've got another 20 minutes before I'm off work. Shit, that is so real. I say that even though I am very much so unemployed.
Until she stopped struggling and breathing altogether.
It would explain the lack of fingernails dug in, as well as explain why I didn't see anyone near the climbing center in the event rope was used. It might just be conjecture, but it's the best thing we have so far. But there's something bothering me, if I may. What I don't get is, why was Pandora seemingly so relaxed in the spa? She was reclined and there weren't any signs of a struggle in the whole room. There must have been the obnoxious music playing in the spa too, so I doubt she would have stayed. That's strange indeed. I certainly couldn't concentrate on the climbing grips once it started.
That music was so annoying. I didn't know it was playing until I was outside. More importantly, Echo, did you bonk your head or something? The spa lounge is soundproof.
Huh? Well, I guess that makes sense, since I threw the door open upon entering. Hang on, what? The lounge is soundproof?
Whoops, was that not common knowledge?
Hold it. Explain yourself. Does that have relevance to the trial? Give me a moment. Alright. If the spa lounge is soundproof, then the motivational music was playing throughout the rest of the mansion.
Whoever was in the spa lounge with Pandora must not have been aware of the music.
Damn, the killer just outed themselves. 0. I noticed in your kiosk message you didn't specify which room was soundproof. It simply said your current room is a special room. Is that correct?
I said I didn't write that. But, yes, I guess it did say that, didn't it? Fine, yes. All second floor rooms are soundproof. Happy?
I was about to say that literally proves that it was Cyrus, but Cyrus did say he had the door open. Wait. Fuck, what was everybody's alibis? What did everybody say they were doing? Shit, I'm so bad at mapping out places. I don't remember which rooms are on the second floor and which rooms are on the first. In that case, wouldn't Pandora have been completely relaxed and unaware of the motivational music when it started at 4 p.m.? Wait, that's right!
Well, not the atrium, but it's more of a giant hall than a room. No closed doors or anything, you know?
I wasn't aware. I left the climbing center's doors open during my stay. So it's not just the jazz club. We probably assumed the jazz club alone was soundproof because people perform in there. Now it has been revealed that Pandora was willingly in the spa lounge, relaxed and completely unaware of the music presumably far before it started playing in the first place. And even when it did begin, she would have been undisturbed by it, due to the soundproof quality of the spa lounge.
Just a minute. That means the motivational music had nothing to do with provoking someone to kill her.
What? Echo, you have an idea of what provoked the person, don't you? You've had this look on your face since this afternoon. It's the note, isn't it? You've seen it before. In fact, you saw it before I brought it up with you and Art.
Finally talking about the note.
Yes, I've seen it before. Huh? Pandora herself showed it to me last night.
Pandora? But how did she see it? Lyle said it was the announcement special gift from this morning. I lied about that. There was no special gift. If someone did show up, I was just gonna call them a chump, personally. I'm actually also perplexed as to where that came from. Although, maybe I shouldn't complain. The note has made things very interesting.
What is this note you're all talking about?
Remember that scrap of paper we saw in the spa pool? Yes, it was soaked beyond legibility. That's the note we're talking about. Namely, a note to be kept in secrecy. I remember it said, "If you recognize one of the symbols depicted, then you have finally found me and are safe. Please do not speak of this note's existence. Trust no one but yourself." It had 2 emblems on it, as the note references, and I saw one of those emblems on that shred of wet paper in the spa pool. Pandora was in possession of such a dangerous, suspicious thing? Whoa. I accidentally touched the greasy food and got a little bit of grease onto my spacebar. This is quite disappointing. The culprit must have saw that she had the note on hand and threw it in the pool to soak and destroy it. They were probably afraid of the ramifications of protecting the recipient and what effect it could have on the rest of us in the killing game. They probably thought that whoever was in possession of the note must be linked to the game itself. Then wouldn't the culprit be one of the few who knew of the note's existence? Excuse me? That's right. She reacted when Zero first mentioned it. Say, you reacted when Zero mentioned the note earlier. Have you seen the note before? I have never seen it. I see. But how could that be? Lyle said he saw Sei go into the pantry, and after she left, he saw the note. Before this trial, the only ones who could have seen it were Sei, Lyle, Echo, and me, right? If the Atrium special gift was a lie, then what's with the secret note being in the pantry earlier this afternoon? I imagine Pandora herself must have left it there, seeing as she was utilizing the ingredients from the pantry to make breakfast this morning. She just left it there? Then why is there a similar note in the spa's pool? She couldn't have left it out of her possession, if it's supposedly a note to be kept in secrecy.
Wait a minute. Then are there 2 notes? But we still don't know where those notes came from in the first place.
None of these random details are making any sense. I'm also having a hard time sorting out relevant information. Indeed, it's becoming difficult to define what is truth and what happened when, and why things are as they are.
Can't we try to lay down a timeline of events? That could clear our heads and straighten things out, if anything.
I don't think anything can be straightened out here. Y'all are a bunch of queers, and I love you for that. Yeah. The meat is so bland. A timeline of events. Yes, I think that could help. I noticed a handful of discrepancies that could use clearing up. Perhaps I ought to take the events back to last night, when Pandora showed me the secret note. The note seems to be the biggest complication. Pandora pulled me aside to show me the secret note at 9 p.m. No, the light started to dim during our conversation. The light's dimming indicates nighttime, which isn't at 9 p.m. Okay, then it's at 10. That's it. Yes, it was 10 p.m. I remember the light starting to dim during our conversation, indicating the start of nighttime. The following morning, which was earlier today, we can assume Pandora must have been up earlier than everyone else and began preparing breakfast for us. A small group of us had breakfast and conversed about the forced motive question, which rang in at 9 a.m. That's right. The forced motive question announcement rang in at 9 a.m. We briefly touched on the topic, but ultimately didn't feel any motivation to conduct any sort of killing, likely to the chagrin of the announcer. Afterwards, I had planned to go back to my room, but Art stopped me and we went around asking the other students about the question. We were occupied with asking around until 3 p.m. But just before 3, Art and I ran into Lyle as he was going to his room. We talked to him a little bit about the question, but he had little to say about the matter. During our conversation, he brought to our attention the secret note, the same secret note Pandora had the night before. Lyle claimed that someone had left the note in the pantry, and the person who was last in the pantry before him was... Sure, she was in the pantry this morning, but Lyle didn't see her at the time in question. Say. That's it. Lyle claims he saw Say scurry from the second-floor atrium to the pantry and back out again. After Lyle showed us the disarmed door and the secret note, Art and Lyle went off on their own, and I went to the study at 3 p.m. I'm starting to really think it was Say. Also, I got another Discord ping. Hold on. Alright. Yeah, we're good. While I was in the study, another announcement rang in and started playing some sort of jarring motivational music that once again attempted to start the killing. The motivational music began at 4 p.m. Excuse me. I recall the announcer saying the time. I ran out of the study in a panic, trying to find any of the other students. From the atrium, I saw a shadowy figure at the top of the stairs. I followed them but lost track of them, which instead led me to discover Pandora's body. If only I was able to keep up with the shadowy figure. Perhaps this trial would have been over sooner. But it's strange. I couldn't seem to add anything up despite how much we knew. Or rather, perhaps there was some other unforeseen force factored in that contributed to Pandora getting killed. There had to be something. Something missing. I felt an uneasy anticipation tugging at me. Something willing me to continue the pursuit of whatever force caused this mess. I had to try. Uncovering the truth was more difficult than I thought, but Pandora would tell me not to give up. I had to try to narrow down where this strange factor's weak point was. I thought about the scenario from the starting point of when the note was revealed, since it was a topic of contention. Perhaps I ought to think backwards from Pandora's death to see if there are any holes. Pandora was killed in the spa lounge. This is true. Yes, there weren't any signs of her body being moved. But before she was killed, what was Pandora's speculated state in the spa lounge? Obviously, she was relaxed. We're able to assume she was relaxed in the spa lounge because the lounge is soundproof. We learned that the spa lounge has soundproof qualities. If Pandora was in there with the door closed, she would likely not have been disturbed. Wait a minute. When I first entered the spa lounge, I was initially under the impression that there was more motivational music playing within. Little did I know it was only playing because I had thrown the door open, ruining the soundproof quality of the room. However, someone noted that they were unaware of the music until they moved from one area to the next. The fact is, the climbing center and jazz club were already occupied and neither Cyrus nor Lyle claimed they were with company. This person could have left the only remaining room that shared the soundproof quality of the other two. Why was Pandora seemingly so relaxed in the spa? She was reclined and there weren't any signs of a struggle in the whole room. There must have been the obnoxious music playing in the spa too, so I doubt she would have stayed. That's strange indeed. I certainly couldn't concentrate on the climbing grips once it started.
That music was so annoying. I didn't know it was playing until I was outside. More importantly, Echo, did you bonk your head or something? The spa lounge is soundproof.
There it is. Who was behind the spa lounge and motivational music discrepancy? By making a remark of the change between locations, the culprit could have only been in the spa lounge before the motivational music. By that logic, the culprit must have shared the room with the victim. Art must have been in the spa lounge with Pandora before she died. Everyone, I think I have the full picture.
What was with you? You were totally spaced out for like half an hour.
Be quiet, you.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Talk to me like that later.
I don't fucking know. He seems like a weird guy. Echo, was there something we were missing? Yeah. I think something might have slipped right under us. We've been looking at this under the guise that the motivational music had everything to do with the murder. However, there is a discrepancy in that thinking. Pandora was never exposed to it, yet she wound up victim to the effects of it. As we discussed and discovered, all second-floor rooms are soundproof from outside noise when the door is closed. Case in point, Cyrus leaving the climbing center doors open, and Lyle undisturbed in the jazz club.
At least you won't have to voice Art anymore. At fucking least. Down with the rich! Down with the rich! Fuck golf!
But then I noticed someone said something strange. They mentioned they weren't aware of the music either. That is, until they exited a presumably soundproof room. Neither Cyrus nor Lyle ever encountered anyone during their stay, so by process of elimination, the only room this person could have exited would be the spa lounge. I don't know if anyone else picked up on it, but I think I know who the culprit is. Art. Did you kill Pandora? Art?
What? Hang on!
That can't be true.
Thank you for being guilty, Art. Now goodbye. Okay.
Please yield. Echo, this thought of yours. It's awfully bold for you to point the finger at someone so conclusively. Well, it's only a shred of an idea, but it's the only piece that fits. If we put the timeline together, beginning from when Art and I separated at 3 p.m., it's not unreasonable to assume that this crime was conducted during a smaller window, after Art and Lyle separated and before the motivational music. It's been stated several times that Lyle was What? You're all just gonna listen to that tiny impossible statement? Art, say something! Don't let them tell you what's what, it's nonsense! What? In fact, he was with me in the jazz club until 4 p.m. Yeah, isn't that right? Lyle, you must know that we are beyond the veil of smoke and mirrors at this point. What are you implying? It's far too late for you to defend him. If you two were together, it would have been mentioned ages ago. That shadow I saw at the top of the stairs. It must have been Art fleeing the spa lounge toward the atrium. He must have known there was distressing music playing outside the... He must not have known there was distressing music playing outside the spa. Otherwise, he wouldn't have let slip that he noticed a shift in music when leaving the spa after the fact. Lyle, please, think about the events in your head. As much as I hate to admit it, there's only one answer I can think of. Even though this is all speculative, I want nothing more than not to believe it. This is the only ammunition we have. Art, we're your friends, aren't we? Please, if we're wrong, just tell us we're wrong. If this is all untrue, we can put this debacle behind us. Echo, do you remember what I told you when you asked me about the forced motive question? Yeah? I recall you said you liked playing golf, but But you haven't expanded your interests outside golfing?
Yeah. It's because they would never let me. It's a terrible existence, being the ultimate golfer for them. All day I stand around in the sun listening to jerks pitch false interest and crummy business ideas to each other. I'm not playing golf. I'm just there to look good while the suits are off playing corporate deception and back scratching. They made me hate golf. So that motive question, it made me think about what I was doing. I wasn't having fun anymore, you know. Even though I'm great at it, I'm the ultimate golfer. Even if that's the case, I didn't feel like me anymore. It's weird. I've had more fun here, hanging out with everyone, not indulging my talent, even though it's the thing that landed me here in the first place. I kept thinking about that. I kept thinking about the FMQ, about how I hate this part of me that blessed me with an opportunity to hang out with all you fun people. Before I knew it, I wandered into the spa lounge for some peace and quiet, and I thought no one was in there. But Pandora was there, quiet as a mouse. I didn't even notice until I sat right next to her. She was so nice.
Good afternoon, Art. Care to join me?
Moral of the story, don't be too talented.
Shit, this is gonna be a fucking Mondo Chihiro thing. No! No, we can't! No, that's so fucking sad.
Sure thing.
Are you alright? I didn't scare you, did I?
Oh, no, I just, didn't notice you when I came in. You know how it is. The head is somewhere else and all.
She was so nice, so I killed her.
That's what fucking happens in Chapter 2 of Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, bro. That's the fucking Mondo trial, bro.
Ugh. That's such bullshit!
You could have had any other fucking motive!
Oh, no, I just, didn't notice you when I came in. You know how it is, head is somewhere else and all.
I see. Art, may I ask you something?
What's up?
I believe I heard about you influencing a merger between yours and Lyle's school. Am I correct?
Yeah, that was a while ago.
That's such an amazing accomplishment. I can only wish to achieve something half as grand as that.
Oh, it's nothing. I hardly remember it.
If you insist, it's nothing to sneeze at either. I'm sure the students of both schools have benefited greatly from the feat.
Yeah, probably, but I wouldn't know. I only went to school for a year before I was pulled out to focus on golfing. I have a private tutor to cover the difference.
Oh, that's quite a generous offer. I hope you can use your talents and position to help more people.
I don't know if it's that big of a deal.
I have faith in you, Art. In fact, I believe all of us have the ability to induce beneficial change like that if we're given the opportunity. Ultimate students, we have the power of passion and influence in our hands, just like them. I hope we'll all use it for the good of the future. I know we will. Yes, at last. I finally found them.
I didn't know what to say. Power of passion? Influencing change isn't as rosy as she chalks it up to be. The only thing that my talent ever got me was trapped. I used to golf all the time with my grandfather before he passed away. After that, I was...
Fuck. I have to wait for my chat reading device to catch up so I can finish reading that. Give me but a moment. But a moment. But a brief moment. But a brief small moment.
I used to golf all the time with my grandfather before he passed away. After that, I was taken in by some company who would take care of me. 3 square meals and a comfortable place to live. I always played perfect games. Perfect but boring. Day in and day out. It was the same thing. I thought I was there to show my skill, but every game was just an outside business conference. Eventually, I honed my skills enough to hit a hole-in-one no matter what. I played short games no one would ever care to watch. But I ace it and they love it, I whiff it and they eat it up. At that point they didn't care what I did. Using my talent for the good of the future. What about my future? I didn't want to stay with that group for the rest of my life. I thought escaping to the preservation project would finally free me from that imprisonment. But everything's all messed up. When Pandora closed her eyes, I felt a burning. She said she found them. Who was she talking about? It was obvious, right? I didn't know what to say. I just took the note she had and threw it in the pool. I wanted to go away. Then, everything happened in slow motion. It was like my body had moved on its own. My head was ringing, my hands narrowed onto the towel on his shoulders, and everything was pink. It was like there was a fire in my head. When I heard her gasp, my arms were tense, and eventually... I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lyle. I was just trying to have fun with you earlier. Huh? My good-for-nothing talent made me despise golf. I've never had fun with it since people discovered they could use me for their business deals. Okay, so there's some Ryoma shit. Running around with you, figuring out a big puzzle was the most genuine fun I've had in a while. Thanks, Lyle. What the? No way. No way. This isn't real. You're just part of the fake game, right? You didn't kill anyone. You're an actor. Tell me you're an actor, and that the whole story was a fake. Art, tell me this isn't real. It was miserable. Like all of us, Lyle was struggling to come to terms with the fact that Art, of all people... Lyle... Is this the truth? We have a shred of evidence to go with a confession. I don't know if I can point out a culprit based on such little proof. Wow, right? Yeah, that's fucking... Yeah. Missy, you want to keep discussing even after his piteous confession? Well, dinner time. Fare thee well, Angel, I assume. I mean, the stream will be ending shortly, as soon as we finish the chapter. I'm able to have my doubts, am I not? I can't accept it, and I'm sure the rest of you are also having trouble just the same. Doubting is the only thing keeping me from fully realizing the weight of a lofty, impossible-to-swallow truth. If I can doubt, I can still cling to the possibility of Art not committing such a horrible crime.
Missy, you're deluding yourself with a false hope. Just like the unfortunately misguided Lyle. Such thinking is unsustainable.
There's no need for doubt.
He might be one of those like Sakura? I don't see it. I really don't see it.
Canon? I have definitive proof. Canon? It was small, but it was unmistakable. Art was seated at the base of the atrium centerpiece globe with his head in his hands. The photo looked to be shot from the second-floor entryway. That means the shadowy figure I saw was... That was me, following Art as he fled from the spa lounge. Huh? I was in the foyer, remember? So when I saw Art emerge from the spa lounge, I went to tail him, following him as far as the entrance to the atrium. Then I heard you shout for help and I did an about-face. Little did I know I would stumble upon the very thing he was running from.
What the heck is this? Canon sure is a weird photographer.
So, does that settle your doubt, Missy? But why wait to reveal such damning evidence? You think I want his blood on my hands? If I presented this photograph, we'd know the culprit for certain, thanks to me. Because I'm always unlucky enough to be in the wrong place at the right time.
I don't want to bear that weight on my conscience.
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, fucking...
I know it's selfish, but take it or leave it. Then, I suppose it's settled. If we can agree this is unquestionably the truth, there is no room for doubt.
Huh, it seems you all come to a consensus. In that case, it's a voting time! This is the final phase of the class trial. Vote for who you think is the culprit. After all that jabbering, you'd better have a solid answer. Don't let any of that sentimental doubt or faith or whatever keep you from saving yourselves. It's a voting time!
Oh boy. I wonder who it was. Wow, it only lets you select the actual culprit. Papiano, ah! I'm so curious as to what the executions are gonna look like. Guilty! Yahoo!
And we have a winner! The culprit responsible for the murder of Pandora Spere is none other than the ultimate golfer, Arturo Campapiano!
Yeah, it's pretty fucking definitive.
Ugh, took long enough. Let's try to do better next time, alright? But for now, it's time for the grand finale. You've reached your exciting destination at the end of your first class trial. That destination being punishment time!
Class trial adjourned. Punishment time?
Well, yeah, eye for an eye, right? He was caught. Too bad. Recap Rule 5. To expedite the process toward the ultimate prize, one must kill a fellow student without getting caught. Oh, but what happens when they do get caught? Recap trial rules. Determine and vote correctly, and the culprit alone will receive proper retribution and perish at the hands of your group decision. It's bizarre. If it weren't for Echo's conveniently specific memory and Kennon's terrible luck pulling her to witness him, Art might have gotten away. Do you have anything to say for yourself, Arturo Campapiano?
This is what the Preservation Project wanted, isn't it? To kill and live on. To prove your strength above other ultimates.
What? You think you're gonna live on? Whoops. You clearly don't have the emotional constitution to carry the people's future.
What?
No. You let your fears and anxieties eat you alive.
Stop.
Why? I'm shocked Pandora didn't live.
Please.
She lost to you. A weak, vulnerable, pathetic.
I couldn't bear to hear anymore.
That's enough.
A silvery voice rose from somewhere in the room. That voice, it was the other announcer. The voice that welcomed us to this place was here.
Zero, stop this at once.
Oh, you. I believe I got rid of you, but you still came back? So weird. See what I did there, Eve?
Eve?
These students revealed the culprit. Was that not sufficiently entertaining enough for you?
Yeah, they sure did do their thing, but geez, did it take a while. Alright, fine. His face was just so rich with despair I couldn't help it. It was fun for you too, right?
Stop this.
Fine, fine. I'll get on with it. Goodbye, Arturo Campapiano, the ultimate golfer. Your execution awaits. And so it goes.
Zero's hologram warped out and a huge rumbling sound tore through the room. Something was coming. Okay. The courtroom floor rumbled beneath us. One of the trial grounds' walls slid open, revealing a dark pit beyond the walls. From within, a golf cart came shrieking out, drifting and encircling our stands to stop squarely behind Art. Mechanized arms swept Art off his feet, pulling him into the cart that had hardly stopped for a second before peeling back into the darkness that it came from. Art became sequestered from us. All we could do was watch in horror as his fate was projected on a screen in the middle of the trial grounds. Art was tossed unceremoniously into what appeared to be a sand bunker in the middle of a giant miniature golf course. In a daze, he rose coughing up sand and meeting the gaze of a Keech bear statue holding a raised diver. The bear twitched. Its metal body groaned wearily as the arms shook to life. A swing tunneled through the air. Art gasped. Arturo Campapiano, Ultimate Golfer. Execution by Extreme Hazard. Neat! That's one way to do it.
Phew, that was worth the wait, I think. And it's funny. He hated golf, but little did he know, all those business deals he sat in on. Those deals were the ones that brought in funding for the preservation project, the very thing he wanted to escape to.
Isn't this just the baseball player death? I mean, kinda. I mean, if you're gonna have, like, a sports player, then, I mean, pretty obviously the execution is gonna be about the sport, and a lot of sports involve hitting something. Like, I imagine if there was, like, an ultimate American footballer, it would be, like, getting tackled to death or something. An ultimate soccer player, an ultimate, like, actual football player would probably be fucking kicked. Yeah. Nonetheless, pretty symbolic. Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, albeit predictable. I mean, that's the predictable isn't a bad thing.
He thought he could fly away, but it turns out his influence was inescapable. Inescapable is a shit game, and nobody should play it. Life sure is cruel, isn't it?
Law, they just give the footballer CTE? No! I don't know what CTE is. It was horrifying. A disgusting display, mocking Art's ultimate title, ended his life. He hated his talent, and in his last moments, it was all he saw. We all stood, completely and utterly shocked. No one said a word. No one moved a muscle. An unmistakable sinking feeling froze us over. Despair.
In return for entertaining me, how about I answer one question that's been drilling into your minds?
Where are we? This isn't the preservation project at all, is it?
Oh, I said one question only. Our beloved courtroom resides in the Monokuma superstructure. Remember those earthquakes? Those aren't gonna bother us thanks to civil engineering. The wonders of modern technology never cease, huh? So cool. I hope that satisfied your curiosity.
It most certainly did not, you cad.
0. That silvery voice spoke once more. You are a reaper of despair. Whatever you do ends in futility and provides no benefit to anyone. No benefit to anyone except you and your horrible schadenfreude. Do not think for a moment you've won. I will continue to fight back, even after what you've done to me. A sliver of light remains. Echo Pine. Huh? You've received the title of Ultimate Memory.
Memory? What is that? We have a tactician, photographer, and silly puzzle master. Good memory for their skills is already required, wouldn't you think? I won't even humor you with this one. The talent isn't even comparable to something remotely useful. Ultimate analytical prowess like that one pathetic girl. Come on, you've really given up trying, haven't you? It's no fun having any competition. Fine, you think that'll give these people hope? NP6, your queen is in trouble. I have a little information neither you nor the students alike. Cyrus Saruk is someone to be wary of. He isn't who he says he is. He's not an ultimate student like the rest of you. He's much more involved in this game than you think. Ultimate charisma is a terrible cover talent. You're all truly clueless if you believe that.
I mean, I believe him. CTE is early onset dementia because of the brain hitting the front of the skull in particularly professional football players. Ah, so it's just brain damage. The football special. 0. Stop. You've meddled enough.
What? And you haven't? I've been given this power for a reason, you know, and I'm gonna use it as I please.
This isn't the answer.
Whatever. Courtroom is closed. These losers can marinate in despair for a night, but tomorrow we'll get it going again.
0.
Shut up! I'm tired of your poor, useless attempts at creating hope. You will never win. You're a failure.
With that odd display, the 2 holograms cut out. What? What just happened? I was on the verge of tears. My whole body shook violently. There was a weight at the bottom of my heart, dragging my whole body down. I felt like my head was going to split. Becoming trapped in a strange luxury mansion where I seemingly didn't belong. Stuck with a group of revered students with a so-called ultimate talent. Getting involved up in a class trial where we had to investigate someone killing someone else. Concluding with gruesome execution, as if everything else wasn't enough. Why was this happening? I want to go to bed. For a long, long, long time. Before I knew it, my limp body dove to the floor and I keeled over. My heavy eyes closed wearily and I allowed myself to sink into the velvety darkness. Yeah, that doesn't sound very healthy. Eight students remain. Alright. So, we've reached Chapter 2, which we're going to play in full next stream. Not sure if it's going to be tomorrow, not sure if it's going to be another day. But, I know for certain that we are done here. Because my voice fucking hurts, and we've been going for more than 3 hours. So, if you enjoyed, please do me a large favor and like and subscribe. It helps out basically everything I do. Join the Discord if you want to get pinged for every time I stream. Do know that it's basically just for pings. There's like no actual activity that goes on there, though people have been sending some like poetry, I think, recently. Just a little bit, though. Also, it's a good place if you ever want to ask me any questions, send in any requests for games for me to play, and yeah. Without much further ado, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, so fare thee well, my rats and rodents. Thank you, Synthetic Teapot, and goodbye.